Welcome to another episode of ArtCo Drone Solutions. Welcome, everybody. We got a great show today. Hopefully, everything is working. I want to say hello to the folks in the chat. We've got Mitch, old guy in a drone, AZ Drone Dude, Michael McReynolds, Steve Mack, Agent K. And then we have Tim, the four-eyed canine. Jaybird, and I believe Steve Carpenter was here earlier. Oh, Bill, Coast to Coast Drones is here. Sean Oz was here early. Yeah, I did a little something a little different today. I got the stream set up early, so I wanted to get everything all working, the vMix and all that stuff. Hey, Glenn, Thunderbird 6. Welcome. That sounds like a bowling alley. Thunderbird Bowling. Yeah. There we go. So just waiting for the gang to show up in to become part of the panel. Got a haircut today. Feeling a lot better that now that my hair is shorter. Hey, we're on show number 80, which is cool. How do I sound out there? Am I echoing? Or maybe I'll turn down my headphones a little bit, and that won't be so distracting. So what did I say we were going to talk about? Oh, I was going to talk about getting some photos and a video with the drone of automobiles. We'll talk about that, and let's see what else. What did I put down here on the agenda? Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, the Mavic Air 2. So they just got a new update where they added a new feature. They've got the digital zoom, and from what I'm hearing, it is really exciting, and I can't wait to fly my Mavic Air 2. Hey, I finally got a phone that should work. Problem is, I don't have a SIM card for it, and I went to the nearest Boost store, and they don't have any. And I tried going online with Boost. I tried calling, and all I get is their automated system. I can't talk to anybody on the phone. So, I mean, they should be, they should send me for free a SIM card for it, because it's an older phone, but it should work with the Fly app, because this time I looked at the phones that are compatible with, and not just looking at the I don't need this. Yeah, don't. Will I be able to download the app though if I don't have the SIM card? That's the thing. I mean, if I could download that, I'll give it a shot. I want to welcome Rick Halber and Tim, or Tom, I mean. 10 Toes, welcome to the show. So that'll be exciting, because I wanted to try out the Mavic Air 2. I got my car rental, and it's a pretty nice car. It's a 2018 Malibu sedan, 4-door, and it's nice. And it has the rear view camera where you got the monitor right here, and that is really handy. I like that. Although the one thing weird about new cars, it feels like the dashboard is way up here, where on the older cars the dashboard is down. What, no Corvette? Yeah. Nope, that would have been nice. Or if I get the a Mustang, or a Camaro, a new Camaro, that would have been nice. but that would cost money for the insurance company. I'm sure they wouldn't like that. That although they originally wanted to give me a Jeep Compass to drive, but I'm not sure if I'm able to get into the SUV. Maybe if they had a crossover SUV, I could probably get in that with no really big deal with that. So I got the Malibu, and I like it. It's a nice car, and I'm hoping that I get enough money from the insurance that I could get a car in the next few days. I've got Monday and Tuesday off. The downside is the company is closed for a couple of days, and I got those days off with no pay. Can't use vacation for that. So, and it's because the company I work for, we get about 40% of our business is overseas, and especially Europe. And they're on holiday in August. So business is really slow. So they gave us a couple days off. Oh, Jay Bird, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So this week, I will not forget, we will do a trivia, and we'll get that out. So we're up to 17 people. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's great. So tomorrow, what I'll do is in the morning when the sky should be pretty good, because we've been having some pretty big wildfires here in Colorado. We have one fire that's north of Grand Junction that right now is the fourth largest wildfire in state history. And then we got a couple other fires that are not quite that big. There's one in Glenwood Canyon that has Interstate 70 closed. So there's no traffic going east or west on I-70. So, Sean, if you decide to come down to Denver, you still might have some traffic. It's just on the other side of Eisenhower Tunnel. Wait a minute, you are on the other side of Eisenhower Tunnel, if I'm correct. So that's what's going on. Thunderbird 6 wants to know, what kind of business do I work for? A dental manufacturing company that makes braces for teeth. And we've been in business for over 90 years now. And the company just sold the property. And so we're going to be moving, I'm guessing, at the end of the year or early next year. And so, but it'll still be in the Denver area. It'll probably be on the south side of town, where it'll be closer to where the owners live, so they don't have to drive so far. But unless they get a really good deal on some property closer to me, which would be really cool. And my job, I work at a little spot welding machine where I weld the little parts onto the bands. So I do that all day. And if I'm not doing that, then my other job is this is if they're out of work in our department, I get loaned to another department where I put the little brackets onto a tray to where they put the ink marking on that shows you the orientation of that part on the band. And it also helps the dentist too. So that's a lot of fun. You got these little teeny tiny parts. And you got to put them on this tray in a row. And then those go to the next person. And they've got an ink machine. And on a bracket, it'll have a number on one side of the bracket. And then it'll have a little indentation. That's where the ink goes, and it'll be either black, red, green, or yellow. Yep. So, wow, 107 degrees there. Wow, in sunny California. Wow. Tim Jackson, welcome to the show. Welcome. So that's what's going on, and this is a Galaxy S6, and it's on the list of phones that are compatible with the Fly app, so that's cool. It's got a 16 megapixel camera, which is cool. It's got 32 gigs of storage, but the downside is it won't take an SD card. So I think what happens if it fills up, then you have to take an adapter like this and put an SD card on. Oh, wow, it's invisible. And you stick it in here and transfer it on to an SD card, and then you get transfer it on to the computer, which is really cool. So, yeah, so tomorrow in the morning, then the weather should be clear enough. It won't be so hazy here in this. Like right now, boy, it's really hazy out there. So, hey, we got somebody in. Let's welcome to the show Steve Carpenter.
Good afternoon, Art.
Hey, welcome, Steve.
How are you?
You're here.
Yeah, it's cooking. I mean, even here on the coast, it's about 94 degrees here on the coast and inland. It's 108 in Riverside, California.
Oh, boy.
Right now.
All right, well, let's make this a threesome. We've got Mitch, old guy, and a drone. Welcome.
Wow. Hi, Art. Steve, how you doing?
Mitch, good afternoon to you, sir.
I think it's officially evening here. Good afternoon to you.
Oh, yeah. I'm still working on Pacific time. I'm sorry.
So how's the weather down there in Florida, Mitch?
Well, it's been wonderful in the mornings and early afternoons. Been very little wind and
Good.
been out flying every day. Every day.
Wonderful.
And this morning we got out flying again this morning. Yeah, it was terrific.
Cool.
I say hi to Tim Jackson, T-Bird. How you doing? Both said hi to me. Spank says hi. Everybody goes out of their way to say hi to the monkey. It's amazing.
You take a second place. It's like once you have a grandchild or anything, it's like you're gone.
You know, it's true. I ought to just come in the show and just do this. Just I think people would like it better. Anyway, if I have to scratch my nose or something, this is a good cover for it.
Ah, there you go.
Is that your new face covering?
That's it. That's my mask. Now that would be something. Get a mask that looks like a gorilla, huh?
There you go. Go out and do your shopping.
Oh, man. So what have you been up to, both of you guys?
Well, I've been. I just kicked the air conditioning on when it got to hit 84 in the inside of the house, so it's time to cool it down a little bit.
Well, luckily for me, I have an apartment that's like 4 feet underground. and I'm on the northwest side of the building, so it doesn't get really hot here. So I've
Well,
been
that's
really lucky. Hey, we've got another one here. Let's welcome to the stage Mel for
Whoa.
AGL.
Holy cow,
Oh
man.
my
So,
goodness.
I want to know who bought Art that Echo machine.
I don't know.
'Cause we need to have a talk with him. A serious talk.
Yeah, with brass knuckles and baseball bats.
I got a pair of wire clippers right over here that can take care of that real quick.
That'll work, Steve. Get
Snip.
after it. Hi, Art.
Hey Mel, welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Thanks for the
How's
invite.
the MiG 15 flying?
Well, at the moment, it's in the hangar getting repaired.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's in the top secret hangar, But I do have something else I'll share if you don't mind.
Oh, cool. Go ahead.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, he went out flying today. I got all the scoop from this morning coffee with Rodney this morning.
Oh, nice.
That's exactly what my plan was, yes. Now I just got to find the folder and get the file open. Because, see, I'm not going to, whoops, I don't want that. I'm not going to show you a whole lot. I'm just going to show you
Teaser, huh, Mel?
a teaser, as they say.
Teaser.
Yes. And pause it, back it up, and let's move it over to that monitor. I don't know what it's going to do. It might not be too bad if I blow it up that big. We'll see. If it's all distorted, we'll figure it out. Let's see. Screen share, select window. I have no idea. Nope, that's not it.
Yeah, T-Bird, Area
That's it.
51. We found it on Google Earth. We zoomed on in to check and see what he was doing out there.
There we go.
That doesn't look too distorted, does it?
No, it's pretty good.
Now this is
you got the camera up there in the tail, huh? Cool.
This is about a $2, what Mitch, $15 FPV camera and
Yeah.
and VTX all in one, right?
It works, doesn't it? Though it works.
The
Hey,
the popsicle or ice cream bar cost you more to get that stick than it did for the camera.
Look how
You know
steady that is. That worked.
Yeah.
That worked great.
You know what I really liked was check out the sun flare right there.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
That was cool.
And so the flight went well. I flew about 10 minutes, one battery.
Wow,
And,
nice.
Nice.
Then
land-
I hit the brakes,
That's a
so
nice,
it come
nice landing though. Yeah.
come to an
Yeah.
abrupt stop there. But what I did, Mitch, was I took off line of sight, got the airplane straight and level, then pulled the goggles down where I could see.
So you were actually flying through the goggles. How cool was that?
I'm flying through the goggles and landed. First time flying through the goggles and actually landed it through the goggles.
That's cool. You did good,
Wow.
Mel.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
So I was pretty pleased with that result.
That's
All
cool.
right. Well, make my picture big, Art, and
Okay.
I'll share my little flight from this morning. This is that little 250 gram ZOHD drift flying with iNav through the goggles with a I had the transmitter set to 500 milliwatts, so I was clear at the other side of the park and everything, and never went below 99 RSI. I want to find there's the
That's a lot of
community
power.
Well, let me make it a little smaller because you're missing all the data down at the bottom there.
Ah, okay.
And let me get rid of myself in the picture so you can actually see what's going on, because it's like flying a fighter jet with all that all that information. So you can see I'm at 271 feet altitude. See that over on the right? Going 24 miles an hour, and I'm burning 1.8 amps roughly, and
Yep.
this is that 3,500 milliamp lipo. So 3,500 milliamps at 2 amps is almost 2 hours of endurance. So, but
See,
yeah,
I'd like to get this telemetry on mine.
You need an iNav flight controller. You need to have this OSD information is injected into the video stream in the flight controller itself. And there you see I have 3 different OSD screens that I can select with a switch. One of them is very minimal. So I click that, and basically all I have is my RSSI battery voltage and the flying mode I'm in. That one is for tuning. That shows me the PIDs. See the roll, pitch, and yaw.
Yep, and your speed and
PIDs and
altitude.
feed forward. Right, but it doesn't have all the vertical graphs and things in it. And I'm flying in altitude hold and course hold mode there, and you notice how it just locked it steady, stopped the bouncing around completely.
Cool.
Almost looks like a drone.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
You got a little bit of schmutz on your lens.
You know what? That little schmutz is not schmutz. It's image burn in the camera.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, when the first day I took this thing out, I set it down out there to let the thing gather its GPS signals, and didn't realize I had the camera pointed right into the sun, and it burned. But it's okay; doesn't bother me. It's not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't replace the camera for that. You know, these are like $25 cameras, so it's not that big a deal. But that's the park where I fly. That whole entire thing you see out there.
Wow.
with virtually nobody around. It's absolutely incredible. All right, I guess you had enough of that, but I thought you'd like to.
I wish.
Like this. Oh, what? You didn't have enough of that?
No. That big of a park to fly.
Oh. All right, make it small, Art. Make it small.
Alrighty.
Or that that's new subdivision across the street.
That's the wrong scene. Look at me. I'm in the workshop. I don't want to be in the workshop. I want to be in the.
Library?
I want to be in the library.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
There you
jump
go.
around.
Okay.
Well, this is downtown Denver behind me. And that
For your
is-
big. Where's the piano tonight?
Yeah.
It's
And
in the
that's
other
down
corner.
you know what? I don't have that. That background is on the StreamYard's back.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So Art, you were talking about your cell phone, and
you
everybody
can
in the,
still
in the
use it,
chat
Art.
kind of chimed in.
Oh, yeah. Well-
then you can.
Yeah, can I download the app? If
Sure,
I
hook it
don't
to your
have-
house. Just turn the Wi-Fi on and hook it to your house Wi-Fi. You can do anything with it.
Okay.
You don't need cellular. In fact, I have 2 old cell phones that are pretty powerful. They have no SIM card in them, and that's all I ever use when I fly drones or do stuff like that.
Oh, well,
That
That's-
one
well,
that I keep in here that I use as my little floating webcam when I'm doing my
Right.
broadcasts. That's
Right.
just an old cell phone. There's no SIM card in it. You just turn it on, hook it to Wi-Fi, and away you go.
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Dre-
Well, I
Dre-
learned something new. That's
Dre
cool.
at Recovery One Drones did a really nice little short video of how he uses it for his work and how he uses the phones without a SIM card whatsoever in it. So it's strictly for the app. It's strictly for that, and then he'll hotspot it to either his phone or his hotspot.
Okay.
If you need internet access away from home, but if you're in, you don't need the internet access when you're flying. You just need
Right.
it.
Not unless you're live streaming. Then
Yeah,
then
you can't live
That's-
stream, of course, unless you have
that's true.
away from home, unless you have a SIM card. Agent K says it was the old guy in the library with the drone. Clue.
Oh, I like that. Piano is in the workshop for.
Prepared.
Well, how about that eagle that took down that drone over, where was that, Lake Michigan?
I didn't hear about that.
I think it was
somewhere
Lake
up
Michigan.
north.
Yeah, it was up by Escanaba, I think. And I was thinking, boy, if that drone would have had those heron eyes.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Eagles are extremely territorial.
If
Yeah,
it had
that's
the
true.
eyes,
That's true.
if it had the eyes, the eagle would have first probably had its way with it and then knocked it out of the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah.
Now, I would love to see the video. Oh man. Of the video, all of a sudden the camera's going, and then all of a sudden, bloop, 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 bloop. Hey, look at the salmon swimming by.
Unless the eagle carried the drone back somewhere.
Well, from what I heard, it went into the lake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Another one in the water.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the guy has the cached video where he can prove to DJI he was attacked by an eagle. And if he doesn't have DJI Care Refresh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it may not matter anyway because he can't give them the old drone. They're pretty sticky about that. Hello,
Yeah.
Bob Casey.
Bob
Hi,
Casey,
Bob.
welcome. All right.
Yeah, most definitely. They're going to want the drone back, that's for sure.
Well,
Most times,
it's an old Fan 3 from what I understand, so it's a pretty old drone.
Yeah, my brother called me up earlier today and wanted to know how to do an update on my dad's Phantom 3 Standard that I gave him about a year ago. And I said, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I said, Phantom 3 Standard is end of life as far as DJI is concerned. There are no updates available for it. And if there is one, you don't want it. The drone works,
absolutely.
leave it alone.
Yep. I agree.
Yep.
Hey, Brian, welcome.
Hello, Rick.
Yeah, Rick is here.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Don't fix it.
Exactly.
Ray Kelly's here. Hi, Ray. I think I said hi to everybody in the chat, but I may have missed somebody. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to come in for a few minutes and say hello to everybody. I got to get back to editing video because you guys have now seen the end of the next video that's going up on my channel.
Awesome.
So I need to get back to work.
Okay.
Well,
Thanks
good to see you,
for
man.
jumping in, and we'll see you later, probably
And so
tomorrow on your show.
I didn't see Joe Blaylock, I think his name is. I didn't see him in chat.
No, he's
Oh, and I
haven't seen
wanted to mention something. We lost a member of our community. John Spizzo passed away.
That took me away with seeing that post.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Well, what's interesting, I saw it on Ken Heron's show. Somebody
Right.
had a super chat, and that's
Yeah.
where I saw it. I'm like,
Geeks
holy
Vana.
cow.
Yeah, Geeks
Yeah.
Vana.
Yeah, Geets Vana.
about that,
That's right. That's it.
Mhm.
Wow.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Ah, how old a fellow was he?
I don't know. I have no idea. I would guess 40s, maybe.
You'd have to go look at his channel and kind of get an idea. I don't think very many of us in our normal circle knew him too well.
No, I
No,
just see him a lot in a lot of different streams. That's where I knew. And I subbed his channel a while
Yeah.
back. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it sucks though.
Yeah.
But one day you guys will be saying that about me.
Yeah, probably me first.
I wouldn't bet on that.
You never know.
That's right.
Yep.
It's all a game of Monopoly. You get to pass go or you don't. Anyway,
It's
That's
called
right.
live each day to its fullest, because there may not be
Landing.
another day.
that's right.
Yep. Mhm.
That's right.
Yep,
Anyway.
that's true.
Thanks, Art. Steve.
All
Mitch,
right.
we'll see you guys
Take
later.
care, Mel.
Mel,
Have a
it was
great
good.
evening.
See you, buddy.
That camera worked out great, man.
Yeah, and
Image
I've got
was-
a
image was
second
good.
one that I'm itching to figure out what to do with it.
Okay. Be
But the
watching for it.
boat's coming. I'm building on the boat. I bought a bunch of balsa
awesome.
wood and stuff today, so
Oh, cool. Yeah, I want to see some videos on that project.
I don't know if I'll do a video on it. My workbench back there now is covered with so much stuff. I'd have to, drone stuff and airplane stuff. I have to, soldering irons and wires and shrink wrap and clamps and clips and heat
And
gun.
you got that underwater gadget too that you were working on.
I got to put all that stuff away so that I can work on the boat now. But
And there
anyway.
you go.
But then you'll have to bring most of it back out in order to use it to do the boat.
Exactly. And that reminds me, I was at the hobby store today and I needed more glue, a particular glue, and I forgot to get it. That glue that instantly glues the wood, kind of like we used to use Zap in the old days. Mitch, remember Zap?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now they
Yep.
got it. It's the same thing, but it's got a different name now. But anyway,
Okay, cool.
You're talking about cyanoacrylate, where you have it's like super glue, and then you have the accelerator.
yeah,
you
but
seen that?
most of the time on most woods, especially balsa, you don't even need the accelerator. You hold the two pieces together, put a drop on it, and blow the smoke away, and it's solid.
Yeah, that's CA, and if it's that thin stuff, it really soaks into the wood too.
Yeah, it does. It does. And that's
Hey,
what
Sean.
I've got some of the
Welcome to the
thicker
show.
stuff. They call it gap filler, right?
Yeah, but that's
But-
still CA. It's still cyano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thin stuff is what I like to use because one drop will spread out a long ways. Anyway. See you
All
guys.
right. All right,
buddy.
take care, Mel.
Take care. Have a good night, sir.
Thank
Head
you,
it
you
on.
guys too. Close.
There he goes.
All right, we get rid of him, and then we could add another.
Uh-oh.
Mike,
Oh my God.
welcome to the show.
Hey, Art.
Mike, congratulations
Appreciate-
again.
Oh, thanks.
What did you do? I didn't hear.
Oh, I got a new vehicle.
Oh yes,
Just
wonderful.
took delivery on it yesterday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I saw the photos of it. You got your ramp and all that neat stuff put in.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So it's pretty nice, and I felt bad putting it up when your car just got crashed, and there I am going off with a new vehicle. So I hope you get something sweet, Art.
Yeah, I hope so too. Hey, Agent K just posted Spizzo is 59,
Wow, that's
Really?
young.
Yeah, that is young.
Yeah.
Man. Oh God.
just a year younger than me.
Does anybody know? I heard it's only rumor that I've heard it was from cancer. He was fighting cancer.
He was fighting
Oh.
something, but I don't remember what it was. He
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah, I saw that the other night on someone mentioned it on Ken Heron's show.
yeah, it
And,
was fun.
Seemed like I'd just seen John Spizzo in something like not long ago.
Yeah,
I think he was in my chat.
my-
he
Yeah,
come into
he's-
my show a couple times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although I think wasn't a regular.
Hey,
though.
I was Fly High Ireland. Welcome.
Gareth, how are
Yeah.
you, sir?
Hey, Fly High. Gareth, is that his name?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Garrett. Okay, and JDS flying
And Jody.
Canuck.
And Jody is here.
There he is. Okay.
Cool.
Oh, cool. An e-bike.
Yeah, that's a shame. It really is. Very young guy. But one thing though, Mike, about your van, you needed it because it got old. You didn't crash it.
Yeah.
Right. The one I traded in was a 99. But I am a little spoiled because I also have a 2018. So I went from a 95 and a 99 2 years ago I traded in the 95, and then they're changing those vehicles next year. So I pulled the trigger again this year. You know, and then I'm kind of privileged in that way. So, but
Good.
so,
What do you mean there's a change in it next year?
Chrysler's doing some changes to the Pacifica model in general next year. And I kind of didn't like some of the stuff they did. So I was like, I'll just get a 2020. And sure enough, they had the color I wanted. And there's a place in Indianapolis, I guess, where they do that conversion on the van. They take it right apart and they cut the floor out and they put like a new, already prefabricated floor in that's 10 inches lower than the other floor. And so you get all the headroom and stuff. And then they remove the gas tank, replace all the gas lines. Everything is approved by Chrysler. It's pretty comprehensive stuff.
Oh yeah, because they're it's like there's a place up the road in the city of Fountain Valley, which is just about like 20 miles up the road from here, 25 miles up the road. They do major conversions for limos here. I mean, they're probably there's like 4 of them here, and they do all the big high-end limos that you see going down the road for multiple places, you know, to lease out to, or they sell them to the leasing companies that put them out and have the services. And it's just like, you look at this thing and they go, well, it was a car. It isn't that car anymore.
Yeah, because they do them with like Escalades and everything, right? You know, make these ridiculously long Escalades. It's crazy.
Oh, even the Hummer was the funniest one I ever saw. I'm just sitting there going, what was the purpose of that? You know, it's awkward and uncomfortable to get in as it is. And you're going to make something you're going to want to go out with people. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's who's the most outrageous.
In
the Philippines, what they did is they take Jeeps and they cut them in half and they expand them, and they're called jeepneys, and that's their mode of transportation around the metropolitan areas.
They expand them?
They're lengthened and people get in through the back. And you know how they pay the driver? They give the money to the person next to them, and that person passes on to the next person. That goes all the way up to the driver.
How often does it get to the driver?
Well, pretty often. Otherwise, if somebody stiffs the driver, that everybody will know who that guy is, and he won't be riding the jeepney for long time. Hey, Jim, Above and Beyond Drones.
Hi, Jim.
Welcome to the show.
Jim's there. Ray Kelly, Newfound Drones, Agent K, Bob Casey, Steve, Mac. Hello.
Yeah.
Yep. And also in the Philippines, they have this thing called a trike, which is basically a motorcycle with kind of a sidecar. And you ought to see how many people they fit on that thing. They'll fit like maybe 3 or 4 people in the compartment, and then 2 on the back and 1 behind the driver. Oh man. Well, I got to ride in one of those. Those are fun.
Yeah.
Is this the days of the old, how many people can you put inside a Volkswagen van?
Right.
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah.
Remember you used to see pictures of India, and like on top of a bus there'd be like a ton of people. Or even on top of a train.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh God, that looks so dangerous, you know? I don't know if it's like that anymore, but back in like the 70s and stuff, you'd see things like that.
Over in the Orient, when you see how much stuff they can carry on one little motor scooter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They load up.
It's incredible. It's very entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I almost had a visit today. You know that guy Anubis Arts, TJ Grady?
Yeah.
He was in Syracuse today, and he shot me a instant message on Facebook, and he was
Right.
going to go to a cemetery with these huge monuments and stuff. But I was heading right out to Home Depot, and then I texted him back, said, "Want to grab a beer?" And he was already on the way back to downstate. So,
Oh,
Oh,
but
okay.
hopefully we'll get together, in the next month or so, because he doesn't live that far.
Right.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome, Roy. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Roy.
Welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one time Ron Lockwood was down here. They had a patient. They flew into Children's Hospital here, and but I was at work when he came, and when I got off work, he was already on his way back to either South Dakota or North Dakota.
Oh,
On the
yeah.
chopper?
That aircraft sitting on the ground there is costing them money.
Right.
Yep, that's true.
You're
Newfound
paying.
Drone Productions, welcome.
That's a lot of
Cool,
money.
cool.
Need that thing up in the air, transporting patients.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's
I
why it's so
actually-
expensive.
I had one of those. It was either that or a sheriff's helicopter. I was flying near here, and I was over a hilly area. I was still, proper altitude, and the sheriff's helicopter and the Mercy Flight helicopter kind of take a route from the west end to the downtown area where the hospital is, and I didn't want to get too low and lose signal and have the drone go up in the air. So I got down close to the trees, and in the video you can see the shadow of the chopper flying over my drone
Oh, no kidding.
a couple years ago. I don't even think they knew I was there, but I was like, the last thing I want to do is, be the guy, and so nothing happened. A little scare though.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it was 2 weeks ago. No, not even 2 weeks ago. I was out flying and for the sunset flight, and I was getting ready to come down, and I could hear the helicopter coming, and I couldn't really see from where the tree was, so I moved down off my porch where I was out further where I could keep an eye on it, and I could see it. Well, I had put those firehouse strobe on the top because I wanted to test it to see if I could see it. So the sun had set, so you can just imagine the sunset. It's still fairly light out. And looking straight up, I could see the strobe. Looking straight underneath it, I could see the strobe going off. And I know that helicopter had to see it because I saw him the way he was coming, and he actually diverted. I was coming down, but he actually diverted. Now, whether he did or not, but I have a feeling he saw it, because I mean, if I can see it standing straight underneath it, he had to see it.
Well, that's the whole reason for them.
Yeah, I know.
Is so that airplanes can see them.
And what's
The
ironic
problem,
is
the problem with
I think
strobes, the problem with strobes in airplanes at night is it's tough to tell the distance, the range to you see this blinking light, this flashing thing, but it's almost impossible to tell how far away it is. But at least you have to watch as you're flying whether it's moving. And they say that if you see a light off in the distance and it's moving, you're okay. But if it's not moving, it's either coming right at you or going right away from you, one way or the other. Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, same way with navigation. Same way. On the water,
yeah.
you never know. You just got to watch. You watch for the colors of the lights, which you're doing exactly what it is. You got to watch out for the navigation lights, not just strobe lights.
Yep.
So are your companies not moving to Portland, Oregon?
Yeah, that.
No,
that'd
they wouldn't be
hell
called
of a great
Rocky
place.
Mountain Orthodontics. So they want to keep it in the Denver area.
That's cool.
They don't want to be in Denver because they'll save a lot of money on taxes.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Well, they pay like $6.50 head tax there.
For what? And per employee?
Yeah.
You're paying
And that's a city tax?
$650 tax per employee.
$6.50 a month per employee. So
Wow.
say you got a couple hundred. Well, we're probably down to between 100 and 150 employees just in the Denver area. And then we got a lot of salespeople, and they're spread out throughout the
Well, that's
the
tens of
world.
thousands. That's tens of thousands a year that you're having to pay on that. That's
Yep.
ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and plus, what other taxes that they have to pay? You know, property tax and
And
sales
they
tax.
have a special city tax in Denver too, if I remember right, don't they?
Yeah.
On top of the normal state sales tax, the city tax.
That's true.
Wow.
So they'll save a lot on taxes. And the funny thing about it is the property they just sold was worth more than the business because where it's located, it's called the Golden Triangle, and it's we're just down the street from the Capitol,
Okay.
and we're right next to the courthouse.
I know where
And
you're
we're only a few blocks away from the Mint.
I know about where you're talking about then.
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
the
have they
Mint
found
is
the
in-
property yet? New property? Have they found
I haven't heard, but I'm guessing it's going to be on the south of Denver,
it? Uh-huh.
because then it'll be closer to where the owners live.
Well, it makes
further,
sense.
Further from
Yeah.
where you live, though, right?
Yeah. Well, I live on the north side of town,
Yeah, as I said. So you'll have a longer
so
drive
my
to
commute
work,
will
yeah.
be longer, which won't be too much of a deal. I'm, getting close to retiring, and all the folks that I knew when I first started there's only a few of us left. So everybody's either retiring or they got a job somewhere else.
Well,
Right.
I'm surprised how many people, like when we've talked before, how many people have held on for that length of time, because in this day and age, longevity in any company is non-existent anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So are retirement plans, basically.
Well, unless you're in the a county or law enforcement or something like that, then your retirement plans, you're set for life.
Oh, government. The governments always have retirement plans. New York
Yeah,
City sanitation workers. New York City. I got a couple that I know down here in Melbourne. Retired, basically garbage men from New York. Retired on a pension of $125,000 a year.
Oh man.
Well, I think you're going to get an influx, Mitch, the way things
they
are
already-
going lately.
They already have. They had an interview the other day with a moving company that their warehouse is completely filled with shipment containers for people moving down that are moving down there permanently, not just
Yeah, great.
the shift in and out. But what it is the homes are selling so quick down there that it was a friend of mine, because I asked him about it, that's in real estate. He goes, yeah, they're up anywhere between 5% and 6% over the last quarter. The homes have jumped up that much in price.
Yep.
A buddy of
Well,
mine was
here-
telling me, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Here in
Michelle.
Denver, home sales are still going strong. Even with this pandemic, you'd think, that would slow way down, and it hasn't. So price of homes have already gone up 6%.
Wow,
Yeah,
ours
they're
Go
are-
pretty
ahead,
good here,
Mike.
too.
Your turn.
But I'm in New York State, but I'm like 300 miles from New York City, so it's a whole different world
yeah.
up
Yeah.
here. But the property taxes are still really high. But a buddy of mine was telling me he had seen some news article, something about one of those Park Ave condos that sells for like 20 some odd $1 million. It had previously been listed for 22 million, and it was going for 10 million.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that stuff.
People are
Well,
fleeing the city.
Yeah, especially the people with money.
Yeah.
Hey, well, look, Donald Trump gave up his New York residency and took up a Florida residency.
Right. Yeah.
Welcome,
Hopefully they
Cigar
can turn
Nation
around.
Warrior.
Yeah, Cigar
Yeah.
Nation, welcome. Yeah, it's here in California. I'm really surprised here. Ours hasn't really fluctuated that much because people are mainly moving out of here. They're not, moving in here. But the house sales are still somewhat strong because they're not building homes. They've been building nothing but apartments for so many years here for dense housing. And it's ridiculous because, like, for a studio apartment over there where I've flown a couple times over where the building that I manage over there, those things are going for $2,195 a month for a studio apartment.
That's nuts.
Wow.
That's nuts. That's like New York. It's like Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're not Manhattan. We're far from it.
Which is probably a good thing for you.
Yeah, I'm happy for that.
Yeah. Man.
But it's crazy. The only thing we have going good for us is the taxes here, because property taxes are fixed by Prop 13. So if you come in here, what I do is, like, when I bought the home here originally in 1985, my property taxes can only go up 2% a year. Period. It's
Yeah, we
fixed.
got the same thing here, but it's like around 3% a year. It's capped.
Yeah.
The time whoever takes a hit is when you sell
buy
the
a new
house.
home.
The new buyer of your house finds out that his taxes are going to be 20 times what your taxes are when they reassess the house at the new tax rates. It's crazy.
I know.
And that does not help the sales of
No, it
pre-existing
doesn't.
homes.
Wow.
But
What's preventing him from building new houses, Steve?
Property.
The
The cost of property.
Land, or are there
It's a
like regulations that are preventing it, or
Well,
the actual scarcity of
it's
land?
developers coming in, but the people, after we had that big explosion, people weren't putting the money into it. After 2008,
Right.
so many people lost it, and one of them was my stepson. He had bought a place and he paid like $675 for it. Well, he was able to turn that thing in because of the funny financing he got himself into. He was able to walk away from it and not get hurt. But for a point in time there, you were getting taxed on the loss as income. So in other words, let's say you took a loss on the home of, say, $100,000. That $100,000 was taxed on your federal income tax and state income tax as income, even though you didn't go to it. You lost it, but you had to pay the tax on it, and they walked away. Well, that house ended up selling and selling and selling, and the last I saw that same house go was for 50. I think it was 55% less than what he bought it for.
Wow.
that sounds like 2008. What happened?
Yeah,
in 2008.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
2008, when the market took it, and then what happened is the cost of homes, because of property. It's all the cost of property. The property around the building that I manage, when they came in there, it was nothing but concrete tilt-up buildings, and small multiple units for, like, even auto repair. They had all kinds of different stuff, from churches to people selling retail goods and everything in there. That stuff ended up selling for the developer that put the apartments in paid average for all 5 pieces of property $4.7 million an acre.
Whoa.
Oh. Wow.
And all they did is leveled it.
Wow.
I mean, you're leveling it, and then you have contamination stuff because of all the automotive repair stuff and everything else in there. Now you're starting from scratch. And just their building permits, just to get in to start their first grading and get their permits in the door, was $3.4 million in permits from the city to break ground.
Right.
Wow, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's out of hand.
Yeah, here in the Denver metro area, the only building that's going up are apartment buildings because, that's what the cities want because
Yeah.
they want that concentrated living. And it's like, that's just going to,
Well,
that's all fine and dandy, but it's going to get to a point where people are going, I'm kind of tired of living in an apartment. I want a house with a yard, to,
Then you
Yeah.
gotta mow it.
well, the thing is, here's the developers are coming in, and then they get all the tax incentives in order to come in there to build in the city, because then the city's going to get the benefit of it, and then they're getting kickbacks from the state plus federal government because of affordable housing. Because even when these go in there, in the state of California, anything you put in brand new, 10% of it has to be affordable housing, and another 10% has to be what they call super affordable housing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And what that is based on is, like, for our county here, is considered affordable housing is $1,675 a month. That's considered
That's
affordable housing.
Holy cow!
So how
Well,
how can you do that if you've got somebody living, on Social Security in
Yeah.
Retirement,
Disability.
you got to
Retirement.
feed yourself?
Mhm.
Well, look, they've been doing that forever in New York. New York's had
Yeah.
rent control
Right.
for ever since before Seinfeld did his show, because they used to joke.
Yeah.
They used to talk about the rent control on
Right.
that series.
Yeah.
Rent control causes an artificial. It prevents new construction because it's not worth it for a landlord to build anymore. And then
Yeah, and these people own the building, and they won't let them. They won't let them. It costs them more to maintain the building than they're legally
Right.
allowed to collect the
Right.
rent. Where's
And
the
then,
future in that?
And then a lot of people who are rich keep the apartment even if they aren't living in there necessarily, because it's cheap in the middle of Manhattan or something, or
Yeah.
Brooklyn or whatever.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's insane.
Yeah, Steve Mack saying an acre in my town is going for 4.3 million. Where I'm talking about is not in the high areas like of Irvine, California. That same acre would probably be going for $10 million for that same amount if it was just up the road a little further.
Wow.
That's
It's
true.
it's ridiculous.
Hey, listen, if somebody's willing to pay it, that's free market.
Well, and that's what we have. We have the tech industry in here, kind of like what, is up by Al Diaz, Silicon Valley. We have the tech, but we have the medical tech industry here in Irvine too, besides high tech. Because Broadcom moved from San Diego and they moved over here to the Irvine Spectrum. If you ever look at it, it's where the 5 and 405 split. And it's the 405 starting actually off the 5, and I don't know how many acres that they took up over there. And when I first saw the grading going on, I couldn't figure out what it was, and then we drove by and they had a big sign, new homecoming for Broadcom, and the place is huge.
Yeah.
And they're not building the chips here really anymore. They're being built across the world. But I'm talking about, they've probably got 1 million square feet of office space between the multiple buildings that are there.
Jeez.
Wow.
Well, look at Apple, the big facility, the big O-ring they built there,
Yeah.
and all the stuff, you get an iPhone designed in California. Well, it's not built in California.
No, it's built by
No.
Foxconn.
It was built in China.
Yeah.
So get yourself before we get old Mitch so depressed he has to go and sign off here with this friggin' political crap.
It's not political.
Well,
we're just
that's
talking
tomorrow.
about the economy. That's not
Yeah,
political,
it's
Mitch.
It's all political. Anyway,
China.
get your. This is ArtCo's drone solutions. So let's see Art solve a drone problem, and get his new phone. See if he can download that app
All right,
and actually
let's go
connect.
ahead.
Because if we don't push him into it now, it's not going to happen.
Well,
Yeah, you should
that's
be able
his
to do it with
problem, not
Wi-Fi.
ours.
Yeah, but we're here to help, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
We're here to help. Or you could talk
Alrighty.
or we
Okay,
could
go
talk
to
about
Google
politics
Play.
and keep shaking our head.
Oh, I don't look at it as politics. It's just the economy of, unfortunately, with developers. You know, it's
Well,
we have the
it
high
is.
tech industry here, and
But it is politics because the brunt of the costs of them coming in and starting in a place like that are costs imposed by government at some point or level, either in taxes, quotas, licensing, inspection fees, impact fees, and everything else. And so the government, they keep grabbing more of this money from all the projects, and of course the companies then have to spend more, and if they spend more, they got to charge more, and who ends up taking it in the shorts down at the end of the line is the little lonely consumer that buys their product. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, it was
But
just like what you were saying about Apple. You know, with them being over in that other country.
Yes.
You know, when they were over there, because I know the president of a company was called Mflex. They're the ones that invented the original circuit board for the iPhone. They went over there, they opened up, they had to build a whole factory, and that's where they found out the real world of dealing with people in another country and having to work there. Because we're going back many decades now. Well, not decades, but years. And when they go there, you only get the workers only get 50% of their salary the whole entire year. And then when you break for the Chinese New Year's, you get a lump sum bonus of your other pay.
Oh.
They lost over 35% of their employees that never came back after the Chinese New Year's. So here you have this business that's up and running, and you've got to start producing all these production lines. They lost 35% the first year that they were there of their employees after Chinese New Year's.
Yeah.
It was a big eye-opening from the fact that what they ended up doing is building a second plant on speculation, with not knowing if Apple was going to break through at the point in time, and going on with the iPhone after the first release was done. And it was the second year they were looking into it. They actually built a whole nother factory in another part of the country, so they could diverse the employment, so it was going to take an impact that you're going to put another factory because you need it for production wise, but then you're going to lose all your labor force out of the area. And that's the same thing even here.
Well, that happens in all businesses at all levels, because nothing is steady. Everything in business is cyclical. You're always
exactly.
cycling between boom and bust, and especially in construction. And a good friend, when I was a home builder back in the 80s, when the savings and loans all went bust. Remember that? And all the builders we were building huge houses in luxury communities, and every friggin' one of us lost everything we had back then. Had to start over again because we built all these houses. Most of them were spec houses.
Yeah.
Banks would wine us and dine us, and they couldn't loan us enough money. You're only building 4 spec houses. Oh, come on, you can handle a couple more.
Yeah.
And then you get stuck with all these houses, and then of course when everything crashed, the government came in and took them all over. It was an ugly time.
O'Sullivan's here, and Chris Hope.
Yeah.
So
Hello,
the point
gentlemen.
I was going to make was, a good friend of mine was in the window business at the time. He had a small company, probably 30, 40 employees, and they manufactured windows, for construction. And his biggest problem was he was always behind the curve. He either couldn't, when the demand went up, he couldn't handle and deliver
Production.
all the
Yeah.
orders. So he starts hiring more people and training more people and expanding the size of his facility. And just about the time he's about to sigh of relief, saying, "Okay, now we can keep up with demand," then the whole industry crashes and nobody wants to buy his stuff. Now he's stuck with 30 employees that aren't earning him any money, too much plant, and you're always people don't realize what a tough business some of these things. Now, if you're in the food business, if you're a supermarket or you own a McDonald's, that demand for that stuff stays pretty steady. If you have a liquor store, you're really in business when times get tough.
Now's when I wish I had my liquor store still,
Yeah.
even without fair trade.
Yeah, the tougher times get, the better the liquor stores do.
In New York State, I don't know about you guys, they stayed open the whole time during the pandemic.
Well, of course. It's a
Essential.
necessity. It's essential business.
Yeah,
In
it's
fact,
yep.
here you can go to a restaurant down here at the harbor, and there's one restaurant it's known for their Mai Tais. You can go down there, get your food to go, and they give you a Mai Tai in a paper cup. Take it in your car, and out the door you go.
Well, they got cup holders in the car.
It is
funny. I think the essential thing was because there's so much tax money in liquor that that's part of the reason they stayed open. Plus,
Well,
to keep the proletariat happy.
yeah,
you know.
exactly. Well, when I had my store here in the state of California, when I originally opened up, I mean, I was 21 years old and a few months old when I got my the license drawn because I put in the lottery for the license. And
Right.
after we had the store open for about 3.5 years, we heard rumors that fair trade, which meant you could go anywhere and the same price for that bottle, say of Seagram's Second Crown, no matter where you went, that was the lowest price it could sell for. Well, when fair trade was taken off, then you ended up with companies like Liquor Barns and all these other, like big box stores, but just for liquor, came into the scene. They were selling an individual bottle of a fifth of 750 milliliters started coming in at the time for what I was paying wholesale for. Uh-oh.
No,
we lost
oh,
Mike.
wait a minute. We got something happened to Mike, but we got
Sean.
Sean.
Hey,
Oz.
What's up? I'm not getting
Welcome,
feedback.
Sean.
Am I? I don't have headphones in, so is it bad
No, I
audio?
don't-
No.
No, you
No,
sound
sounds
good.
good. Sounds all right.
Mhm.
Using a webcam.
Yeah, I just the one on the computer. I'm actually tearing down this studio. I'm not going to be doing a lot of stuff here anymore.
Okay.
Which sucks because I'm going to miss that brick wall. I mean, it'll still
Yeah.
be there. Don't get me wrong. I just won't be filming so much here. My son moved out. He hit 23, and I told him by 23, if you're not out, we're bringing you down to the Air Force. And guess what? He found a place and he moved out. So I'm turning his room into an office.
Ah, there you go.
Sort of like it's much smaller than this, so that sort of sucks. But I'm going to be taking like this table that's right here, and the I can see if I turn this, the bigger monitor and some of this other
Nice.
stuff. I'll be bringing that home and trying to make it so that I can actually take my storeroom, which is in a room next to me over there, into here. And then that frees me up to hire people at the shop finally. And so
cool.
hopefully I can hire a piercer and another tattooist and open 7 days a week and afford one of these houses that are up here one of these days.
There you go.
That's
Hey, Tim
Good
Jackson. There you
Good
go.
luck.
There, come
Hey,
on over.
Tim, hey.
You can give Tim Jackson a job
does he tattoo?
piercing.
Oh, he's a piercer?
He used to,
Oh,
as I
okay.
remember, he did.
well, you know, Sean, I've been known as being a prick, but does that count?
I used to pierce myself, but I can't run the business, pierce, answer the phones, draw everything, and tattoo.
Yeah.
It's too much. Tim was a piercer for 25 years. That's awesome, Tim.
Wow.
I don't even know how much to pay a piercer. Like, it's been so long since I've done piercing or had a piercer.
Well,
around
look
me.
who's
I
back.
don't even remember.
Hey, Sean.
Welcome back, Mike.
Hey,
What
everybody.
happened?
Hey, welcome
I don't know
back.
what happened. I froze up.
Yeah, you did. You just
In the middle of summer, you froze.
Hey,
So did you get your app loaded, Art? Did you get your app loaded?
Yep, yeah, it's down there. So tomorrow
Well,
morning,
get the drone out. I want to see it flying around that mountain behind you.
yeah.
Well, you guys, it is that time of the evening. It is Toffee Trivia. All right, this ought to be an easy one. This is some television trivia. What TV show got itself in trouble by telling the audience to rip the knobs off?
Rip the knobs off?
Yep.
Like off
They
the
got
TV set?
They got a whole bunch of complaints because they said rip the knobs off, and
What question I
and
missed? It.
almost got them thrown off the air.
So I
What
totally
decade?
missed the question, Art. I was talking to Tim in the chat. What's the trivia?
Okay, the question is, there's a TV show. Okay, I'll narrow it down. It was in the early 60s. At the end of the show, they said, rip the knobs off. And it
Sounds
cost
like
a
something
lot.
Soupy Sales would have done.
Well, it wasn't the Andy
No,
Griffith show.
Yeah.
You remember? You remember
No,
Soupy
Mel.
Sales?
Mel, I don't think it was that.
Art,
No, it
do
wasn't.
you remember? Do you remember Soupy Sales, Art?
Yep, I remember Soupy Sales.
Remember,
Yep.
remember the stunt? Remember the stunt that he pulled that got him thrown off the air?
Oh yeah, he told the kids to go into their mommy's purse.
That was just one of the things that he did.
yeah.
The real one, the real thing that got him thrown off of the air, he says, "Okay, kids, we're going to have a contest. Who can tell me what begins with F and ends with UCK?" Fire truck. And that was it. That was the end of his show.
No, it wasn't Z-Rock. That's a couple decades later.
What about
I'm
What's
talking-
My Line?
Okay, I'll narrow it down. It was a cartoon.
A cartoon in the 60s.
Early 60s.
Early 60s.
Bugs Bunny?
Oh, Thunderbird. Oh, but you're in Australia. I can't.
Oh,
send
Rocky and
candy
Bullwinkle. I'll be
I
there.
used to watch Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that
Oh, darn.
because now you gave away the answer.
I like
Well, it's in the
Underdog.
chat. It's in the chat. Yeah. It's in
All
the
right.
chat.
Is it
God,
in the
I love
chat?
that
Let's
show.
see.
Oh, I
That
think
was a great show.
Ten Toes got it
Who's the
second.
First one.
Tom got it. 10 toes.
Oh, Tom got it? All right, Tom. You got a box of toffee coming to you. Yes, it was Bullwinkle. Yeah, because on YouTube they have I think a channel called Factsverse, and they have all kinds of facts on TV shows. And I was watching one on Bullwinkle, and that was what got them in trouble, because at the end of the show they said, boys and girls, so nobody change it, don't change that channel, take the knobs off.
Oh,
Yep. And then right after that, yep, that's right. Yep.
That's funny.
that was
I
fun.
remember watching Rocky and Bullwinkle when I was a kid, though. So it
Yeah.
was reruns were back on or whatever.
Yep. So I mean, that was back in the day where, boy, people got away with a lot of stuff, and they people just didn't think of stuff like that. They rip the knobs off. Then they get all these complaints from parents saying, "Hey, there's our TV's getting wrecked because."
Yeah. It's kind of like the movie Network. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Congrats, 10 Toes.
Well, Art, I've got some work I got to do, so I'm going to beg out,
All right.
seeing as you've
Well,
got
Mitch,
so
thanks
much
for
company tonight. You don't need
jumping
me.
in.
Yeah, I'm actually heading out
Sorry
to-
we depressed you with a little too much.
Politics.
I don't know why you
Don't-
keep saying politics, Mitch. It's not politics. It's
Well,
economics.
Government. It's
Yeah.
okay.
There's a difference between economics and politics. There is
I don't know.
there is a good line in between that
There's a lot of
separates. them.
crossover.
Yeah, there is
There's
a crossover.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of crossover. More than we know, more than we ever
Probably.
can imagine. The
Not in our
corruption
pay
and everything
grade.
else. Yeah, I guess. All right, guys. I'll look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night at 8
We'll
o'clock.
see you
in
tomorrow
the,
night.
in,
Now I
in
can
the
stay the whole time because I don't have to
FPV.
go to bed.
Okay, cool. Yeah, FPV
All right.
workshop. Got a lot of things
All right.
to do
Well,
tomorrow
we'll
night.
replace
All right.
you, and then we'll
See you, Mitch.
bring Mel back.
Bye-bye,
Okay.
Mitch.
See you guys.
Okay,
Later,
take
Mitch.
care, Mitch. Welcome back, Mel.
Thanks, Art. I just want to clear something up. Even 10 Toes put it in chat that Mike B beat him.
Oh, he
Mike-
did.
Mike, that's why I put that message to you in the chat. Mike B was actually the second one. And then
Oh,
10 Toes
okay.
even said that in chat. He goes, no, Mike B beat me. So
Oh,
go back and check
okay,
your
all
chat and make sure. But I think it's Mike B.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Mel, for clearing that up. All right, Mike B, you are the winner.
Well, just go check your chat later after your show and make sure. But
All
that's
right,
what
will
10 Toes
do.
said. So that's what
Yeah,
I'm
he
going
did.
by.
He was right in front of him.
That's what I saw too. But I'm just trying to keep, make sure it stays fair. That's all. I'm
Okay.
trying to help.
Cool.
No problem. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Back to my edit. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Rip the knobs off that TV set.
Yeah, rip the knobs off. Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
gonna head out to
Congratulations, Mike, and sorry, Tom.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we gotta
Thomas, did you
remind
get them in book
everybody
copy,
about
Art?
Spin Up. Spin Up is in less than a month, and then we got Spin Down right after that. So tell us a little bit about Spin Down.
Well, let's go to spin up first. I was talking to the original Dobo today, and he called me because he was going to get his tickets, and I was looking at my tickets to fly in there because we're both supposed to be in-house guests at Spin Up,
Yeah.
Right.
and there's a disclaimer saying if you fly to Texas, you have to quarantine for 14 days.
Oh, geez.
So there's no way, if that's true, we're looking into trying to figure it all out. We can't fly to Texas, sit there for 14 days before we can come back home to do his show.
Oh,
you know?
man.
So I'm not sure what exactly is happening, but we're looking into it now.
Okay.
What about it? What about if you do the test type of thing like Alaska did, like for Ron Lockwood?
They're saying that. Okay, so that's what he said. Dobo said that if you go there, you can do a test to prove you can fly back, but then you're supposed to quarantine at home for 14 days afterwards, which means 14 days of not being able to go to work and crap.
This is ridiculous.
Like I can't and what does that even matter? Because what if you get the test and you prove you didn't have it, and then you catch it off somebody outside of the airport or inside of the airport?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you don't have a fever and you're not sick, you should be able to go. You should be able to fly.
So much of it just doesn't, so much of it just doesn't make sense. It's
A lot of it doesn't make a lot of sense. If you look at it, I'll post it to you guys here. It came out and it's hidden, and it's awful hard to find. But a friend of mine called me and talked with me, and he's going to send it to me. That there is no mask, none, not even the N95, that will protect this bug from being spreaded. No mask will stop it.
I'd like to see that because I get it. I get the mask thing for people, but I mean, we don't use it on the flu. We don't use it on the colds. We don't use it for anything else. I mean, washing your hands. It's amazing how many people don't wash your hands properly. That's it blows my
Right.
mind. I mean, you ever been at the strip club and you go in to take a leak and you're washing your hands and any bar. It doesn't have to be a strip
Red Sean.
club. And guys are pissing and going out like at the urinal, and they go out and they just walk right by the sink no washing of the hands, no nothing. And bathrooms at public places like that are pretty filthy. And at a urinal, you know you're getting splashback. You know you're getting the splashback.
Yeah.
Sean, whenever I'm at the strip club, I wash my hands as much as possible.
Right, especially there.
Hey, I wanted to say thanks to Mike B. He just conceded his pride to 10 Toes. That is
Art-
really nice of you. Thank you.
That's
Art,
cool.
you're very low volume compared to everybody else, I think.
I'm very. Oh, you know what?
There you
Oh, there we go. I just looked at my volume and yeah, so
much better.
you're the only one that complained. Okay. I think I bumped it.
I just wanted you to be equal with all of us. It's your show. You should be heard.
Well, guys, I'm gonna head out. I got.
All right. Well,
Hey,
Mike,
Mike,
here on the
thank
East
you
Coast.
for jumping in and be part of this little shindig and enjoy your new ride.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Art.
that's what
Me
he's going
too,
to do.
when
He's
you get
going
one.
he's going to go cruising the boulevard tonight. Is what he's going to
I'm
be
going to
doing.
the
That's
strip
what
club.
he's going to really doing.
Well, I want to say hello
catch you guys later.
to
Congratulations
who's
again,
new?
Mike.
Lon
Thanks, Steve.
Denard. Thanks for coming in, and Blind Neil and Mia's drone. Oh, next advance. All right.
Did you get the warning about this stuff? I got a
No.
phone call at 11 p.m. from Kroger's or City Market or whatever. Kroger's the main brand that was carrying it, which
Yeah.
is City Market and all the places. Which I bought this stuff saying don't use it. It with excessive amounts it can kill you or something like that. Like it's recalled, and they wanted me to send it back in, but I'm keeping it because if it's something that I don't like, I will put it out and they can use it.
Oh man.
Just because I don't know why.
You're
I
going to
wish I
use
had-
that on the people that stand you up on a call, and if they do come back in, you're going to give them that to clean their hands on the way
There
out
you
the door.
go.
Oh man, this is what I was supposed to be doing right now, guys. I wasn't supposed to be on the show. No offense, but I was supposed to be doing this. Does that doesn't even show? Look, it doesn't show. Maybe if I turn
Oh yeah, kind of a clock.
it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't get it to show in
Yeah.
the reason. Maybe
Oh,
Oh,
that
there it
there you
goes.
go. Oh, that looks cool.
Oh, that's wild.
obviously it would have a lot more detail in the tattoo, but I do a rough sketch like this for the people. But yeah, the guy he didn't show up. He paid me, so he lost his deposit.
Oh
That's
yeah,
wild.
that's true.
So may I ask how many hours does that take?
That the size he wanted it on his, that was probably going to be 4 or 5 hours. He probably would have given me like $700 or so.
Well, I didn't care about the price. I'm just wondering how much your time is, for time wise.
To to pre-draw this or
No,
the
no. To actually do the tattoo.
Yeah, probably about 4 or 5 hours for that one.
Oh boy.
But I mean, it's a huge loss of money. That's like $700 out of my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sean, you saw the tattoo of my high school classmate. He's a retired cop. He's got a big
Yeah, the
flag
American
on
flag
his
with the blue stripe.
Yeah, that was a nice tat that he got.
Yeah, I saw that. You sent me that.
Yeah, he was one of the football players in high school
Mm.
when I was there.
Well, in
Yeah,
fact,
I want
one of the local distilleries that we have here, a little small batch
Yeah, get that
distillery.
spot out of your face, Steve.
I know the lights coming in. The lights coming in through the shade. They're starting to come down.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's a
Here's my
cool
old
one.
sticker. That's my logo for the shop.
There you go.
I'm working on.
Cool.
What I'm trying to do, guys. I'm gonna. I had an epiphany about YouTube the other day, right? Like
You
I've been
did?
working at subscriber counts, and
They've got a shot for that now.
oh, Steve, you got one.
I know.
Awesome.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
all right.
I've had it, and then I wore it out, and I'll tell you what, I get more people. I wish they'd buy from you. I hope they are, but they're sitting there going, "Where did you get that?"
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah,
Oh,
I
I'll
was
have to
actually
get one.
thinking that was going to be comedy gold and was going to like sell like hotcakes, and it did. It sold a few.
Yeah.
But let's see. Somebody asked me. Yes, Tim, up in this area in the mountains, I do get to do a lot of black and gray for some reason. Anyways, so my epiphany I had about YouTube was I've been seeing all these other channels just blow by me. Like from the original Dobo to others. I'm not going to mention names, but Dobo's a friend of mine, so I'll mention him. He was under me subscriber count, and he has changed his look of his channel. His audio is so good now. So I'm proud of the guy. I'm happy for him. But I see a lot of other channels that I won't mention that aren't even at my editing quality. And I hate to say this because I don't want to sound like that guy, but they're like subscriber count going whoosh, and I'm just like crawling all slow, and it kills me to see that because I put a lot of time and effort in this stuff I'm making. So I had been going through this emotional like depression over it. Like it's stupid. It's so stupid to let it affect you like that.
Yeah.
So I decided,
Sean,
not
think
to
of it as a marathon, not a sprint.
That's what I do, but I've been marathoning in 2008, man. It's been a long marathon.
Well, I'm going through the same thing. My channel was growing pretty good, and now I'm stuck at like 1420, 1430.
Yeah.
And but my watch hours is starting to go up, which is good.
Speaking of that, now watch time, I've got
Crazy.
tons of that. Like I get viral videos all over the place. My watch time is almost 5 million views, or not watch time, but views, actual view count. But to get companies to send you stuff so you can continue to make these videos, because it gets really expensive to buy all this stuff yourself.
Sure.
Right.
I mean, I'm blowing money left and right that I should be saving. But you've got to have that higher subscriber count to get the companies to go, oh, more people see his stuff, which is not true. It's really, that's completely the opposite. These companies really should look at your view count and see how many views you really truly get. Because I'll see a channel with 20,000 subscribers with a view count of maybe 500,000 views, where I'm at 13,000 subscribers and I have a view count of almost 5 million views. It's
Right.
a weird mix, and you gotta not let these numbers affect you, because when you're doing a YouTube game and you start letting these numbers affect you, it can kick into this depression because you're putting so much time and effort into it.
It's all about finding your place, your niche, and once you get in that zone, you'll take off. Here, I'll give you an example. I have this friend on Facebook. I've known him for several years, almost 10 years. Well, his daughter started a YouTube channel when she was in high school. Now she's going to be a freshman at ASU. Last year, she was at 10K. Now she's almost at 76K.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What does she
You
do?
remember that show, iCarly?
Yeah. My son loved
Her
it.
channel is a lot like iCarly because she was in high school and talking about high school stuff and doing reviews and makeup and clothes and stuff, and that started her channel going. And I remember when a year ago, her dad was boasting, yeah, my daughter just got up to 10K on YouTube. And if you check out her channel, her channel is Nikki Blasi, Blasi. And she's a cutie.
And
Well,
that helped.
that helps.
That helped.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that
am
really.
But
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get her. I'm gonna try and get her on this show and just talk about her channel, and she's like, she uses Final Cut Pro,
yeah, that's great.
and she's like really good. Her editing is like, I feel like my editing has gotten a lot better in the last couple of years.
I'm actually thinking, Art, of making some videos showing how I edit, because I see simple mistakes people make that are such an easy thing in editing that you can do to make your videos so much more watchable. And
right.
I don't see why I couldn't share that with people.
There you go, and that'll help draw more people to your channel as well.
And and I'll tell you guys why. I know why my subscriber count grows slower. My view count grows because people do watch my stuff and YouTube pushes it. But people don't subscribe because they'll then go to my channel. Maybe they're there for a snowboarding video and they'll see all these drone videos and drone how-tos. And they're like, well, I don't want to subscribe to that. I just want to see snowboard content. Or maybe a drone guy comes over and sees all my drone stuff. And then all of a sudden I do a skateboard review. And they're like, well, I don't want to do a skateboard review. So they don't subscribe. It's slower to get the people that yeah, exactly. So like when you're doing a mix of content, it's a slower growth usually until you get to a certain point. So that's something that people need to keep in mind. It's easier to get subscriber growth if you really narrow down what you're talking about. Like if you did only Mavic Air 2 videos and instructionals only about Mavic Air 2, that's it. Don't even touch the mini. Don't touch anything else. And you focus on just one particular thing, you will see your subscriber count grow faster because that's all that people see when they click onto your page. And if that's what they're looking for, they'll click it because they're like, okay, everything he does is about that. When you're all over the place doing all this other stuff, you have to hope that people subscribe more for your personality than your other stuff. That's where I'm at. But here's the positive note, Art, is I've decided to take some time, draw a whole bunch of new stuff because that's what I do for a living, and put it into the merch store and then make my own ads that go in my own damn YouTube channel to push the merch store and push the tattoo studio because that is where I'll make my money.
There you go. Good idea. Good idea. Hey, Brett Nunley, welcome.
Oh, Brett, that's hilarious.
That would probably do the trick for sure.
Well, if you go to your friend's daughter's channel and you see her, she's a cutie pie. And I know why she's got that many subscribers.
Oh, you just checked it out, Steve?
Link it, Steve.
At least if it is BLASI.
Yep.
Yeah, Nikki. Yeah.
Nikki Blasey.
77,000.
Oh, now it's 77.
77,000.3.
Wow. When I just saw it the other day, it was 76.7 or 8. Oh, boy.
I'll pop it in the chat. There it is.
There you go. That would be great. Go check her out. She's
I checked her out.
Yeah. She's a freshman at ASU. She's going to study business, and she already wants to get her MBA. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Good college. I was one of the schools I almost went to.
And she's got the YouTube, and now she's making, some money with her channel, and that she could just do anything with her channel if she decides to do like a travel channel, or she could still do like makeup and that stuff. Or if she got into drones, she could be more like the American version of Young 360. She could do drones and cameras.
That I don't think she needs to do that. She's fine. She's putting her butt in all their thumbnails. That's what I need to do. I need to put on some tight pants and just have a lot of butts in my thumbnails. And everyone can be like, well, that's a nice butt. And they won't realize it's a man butt, but they're clicking on it anyways. I do have shelf ass, so that's that means it's good. Or so I'm told. If you can set a Coke bottle on it and it stays, man.
There you go. Oh, man. Have you guys been on TikTok?
I have it, but I almost never use it. I think I've put 3 videos on it, and that's about it.
Oh, man. You know, they ought to call it boob talk, because I'm going through and I'm like these chesty broads, and they're dancing to the same tune, and I'm like going, holy crap, my head's going like this. But there are some cute animal videos where there's some cute stuff, or they're cute couple, funny couple videos. And then there's some comedians are on it, and
there's a lot of
funny.
It's not for kids. Like kids love it, but it's not just for kids. Adults use it way more than kids do.
Yeah,
I actually think it shouldn't be for kids. My girlfriend lets her kid watch it, and I'm so against that. And we fight about that a lot because she watches it unsupervised, and there's all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah,
influence a 12-year-old, and I'm going through some crazy stuff at home right now. Steve, you know a little bit about that, but that we're butting heads about all this stuff because of things like TikTok, letting a 12-year-old
all of social media.
Yeah, it's just not appropriate for certain age kids.
Amateur stripper.
Yeah, exactly, Lon. And it is. It's unbelievable.
Mm.
Well, they start out at Hooters. So most Hooters girls either go into stripping afterwards, or they'll become maybe not straight to stripping. They'll go into being a hostess at a strip club from the Hooters. If they don't quit Hooters, that's the next step. Trust me, that was my whole life in my 20s. So,
to me,
go ahead.
I'm at that age where I just can't go to strip clubs. It's like, oh yeah, I've never seen those before.
Well, it's fun to go.
Okay, yeah, oh yeah, $10 for a Coke. Yeah.
Yeah, you can sip a beer like a nipple, sip it all slow or something while you're at the strip club with a couple buddies, or if you go with your girlfriend. That's sort of fun when you go with your girlfriend. And that can either be good or bad. Sometimes you go with your girlfriend and then all the girls are all over you guys, right? And then sometimes you go and they're like, oh, his girlfriend to get mad. I gotta stay away. So it's a weird mix. Like when you're dating one of the strippers at the strip club, then you go, that's fun. That's a lot of fun when you do that. Then you end up on stage half naked with all of them, and it's a blast. I'm gonna have some fun memories when I'm older. That's
Well, I used to hang out at a heavy metal club, and we get a lot of strippers coming in. So it's like I practically knew all the strippers in the Denver metro area.
Oh, so you guys have it all wrong. We used to go to this one bar that was on Wednesday nights, and it was in Irvine, and it was a restaurant, but then they had the whole downstairs was nothing but the bar. And then they had sometimes live bands, and then most of the time just music playing, like disc, DJs playing and the music in there. And what we would do is we'd go there on Wednesday night after our apprenticeship class, because this was the closest bar from the male strip club that was over there that they had going for the women. The women would go there afterwards. You wanted to find the best pickup place. This place would be maybe one girl per every 10 guys. At 11, right about 10:30, 11 o'clock, it turned 180 degrees around the opposite place. You had 10 girls in there for every guy in the club.
Nice. I'll tell you, it was crazy. I worked at a tattoo studio that was across from a strip club, and I tattooed like every girl that worked there, which meant like I could walk in like a damn rock star. I just walk in, the guy, the bouncer, come on in, drinks for free, because I tattooed like the bartenders and I tattooed the DJs, and they just hooked it all up. So it was amazing.
That's nice.
It was so cool because I would bring a friend that wasn't in the scene and just walk in, and it was so impressive to walk in and just everything handed to you. Hey, sure, what's up? And the girls all over you sitting in your lap, and you're just like, yeah, that's right. Now that doesn't happen to me anymore at all. God,
hey, welcome to the show, X Cross.
Oh man, memories.
Where was that at? In Huntington? Or
that was actually when I was in Huntington, that happened there, and then it continued in because my son's mom was actually stripping, so that was years of that going in there. That was really crazy.
TMI.
That's Yeah, TMI. Yeah, no. He's 23 now. He doesn't have any connections with her at all. This girl was great when he was born. And
Daddy, why is mommy on Pornhub?
yeah, well, luckily she's not on there. Believe it or not, she never got into that. But she did get into heroin, and that's why we split up.
Ooh.
And it hasn't been in his life since he was like 4. So, and now he's 23, and he's got issues to deal with that. But everybody's got their thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We all deal with something.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
So, did you ever go to Whiskey a Go Go?
I did.
Yeah. About the Troubadour.
Never did that one, no.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I never got a chance to go to some of those clubs when I was in LA. It was just, let's see, I don't even think I went to any of the big comedy clubs when I was there. All I did was I went to a couple open mics in town.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, that's a tough town. I mean, it can be for comedians unless you're really seasoned and you happen to go on at the right time and you're hitting it when the crowd is hot. It's all about timing and stuff. And I happened to be at a place and there were some people from ABC checking out a few comics, and I did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had just come back from Asia, and I had a terrible cold so that probably affected my show.
That'll do it.
The Whiskey was the one off of Sunset Boulevard, right?
Yep.
Yep. So that was the one in the Motley Crue video.
Yep.
Yeah, you remember that Girls video?
Yep.
Yep.
And then I went there. I remember going there with one of my tattoo artist buddies when we worked in Venice Beach. And it was so weird. It was different than any other strip club I've ever been to, because instead of them bringing you and just doing a dance, like a regular dance somewhere, they dance for you at your table for like $1 instead of a 20. And it was a very short dance. So you just, well, here's another $1. Here's another $1. Here you go. You know?
Yeah.
It was such a weird setup compared to like every other strip club I've ever been in. It's gone now, though. It's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think it's there anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Whiskey a Go Go?
Yeah, I think it's gone. I don't think it's there anymore.
Oh boy.
No, as
Well,
far as I
that's
know, it's
been
not
around going back to the 60s. You know, when some like like Crosby, Stills, and
Nash and Young.
Nash, they used to hang out there. I mean, there were a lot of big name rock and rollers that went through there.
Well, you go back in time too. I mean, it's like the Playboy Club. I used to go there all the time, in the day. And I mean, it was a hot spot around to go, and if you're out there but you also paid. It's very expensive. It wasn't cheap. That's for sure.
That's crazy costly to live in California now. Like, where I live is ridiculously expensive, but it's probably even maybe slightly more in California.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're up in the mountains, and there's not a whole lot of property you can buy because it's so mountainous. So you're limited on that, but you're near ski resorts, so that drives up a lot of the property costs.
Well, none. There's like 2 or 3 lots of land right now for sale for $250, and you get the land for $250, and it's a very small patch of land. Yeah, and I mean, this is staying in my area. If I go out like to Kremlin or something, it becomes much cheaper.
Yeah,
but then you throw on a house on there, and maybe you're getting a house that's $500,000 on top of that land, and then they find a boulder in the land. They got to dynamite that, and that makes your go up. Or you buy, like we were looking this summer, and we got this close to buying. It was really hard to get approved, and I was having problems with that. But it was like 1,000 square foot home for $575,000. It ended up selling to somebody else for $550,000, and instantly you have to go in, refinish the outside of the home, fix all the floors, new appliances in the kitchen, And that's not even redoing the whole kitchen, which needed to be done just to make it work, and maybe putting a fence up so your critters don't get eaten by wolves or coyotes or bear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's for sure. It's like Mammoth the same way. Mammoth Mountain, the prices up there were, they're back up through the roof again.
Yeah, well,
but an old girlfriend of mine, when her and her husband bought up there, they bought next to McCoy's daughters, who, if anybody knows, McCoy was the founder of Magic Mountain, Mammoth Mountain, and being up there, they had it. They were going to sell it right when they were getting ready to go into earthquake hit. The value of that property dropped by 50%, bam, overnight. And they finally ended up selling it, but they ended up selling it for a halfway decent lot. It was, I would say, probably about 1/6 of an acre. It ended up selling for almost $750,000 for just the lot.
That's insane.
Yep.
Let me answer Lon's question here. He asked about spin down or for Colorado. As of now, and you can confirm this, Art, but there is a mask mandate, I think, for the whole state. That's why I've got this whole thing.
That's true.
Just that quick.
Yeah, our emperor has extended the mask mandate.
Yeah, I'm okay with people wearing masks, whatever, if it works or if it doesn't work. But when you're outside, like getting forced to wear,
ridiculous.
Like Joe Biden just talked about forcing people to wear masks over the whole nation anytime you go outside, which technically would mean in your own freaking backyard, unless they rewrite and clarify that outside means outside. It's just so insane to me. I see people up here driving their car with their mask on. I see people riding their bicycles, jogging with their mask on. No one around them. No one. People are so scared that it's like pollen in the air, and you're going to just breathe it in.
It isn't. It's not airborne.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the bubonic plague, people.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's going to touch you like that, and poof, you got it also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's crazy is you're sitting there talking about people driving by themselves. Have you seen the county now is requiring all their employees, if you're on a Zoom call, you're supposed to be wearing a mask?
Oh God, I heard about that.
Wait,
no,
like this? We're supposed to all be like this talking?
Yes, to each other? Right now we should be having the mask on.
What's the point of that?
You might get a virus on your computer.
The only virus you're gonna get is
you're both sick. I spit on you.
Oh man!
Well, like I was just saying, and I'll get that article from my friend. He's going to send it to me, the link, where there is no mask out there that will stop I don't want to say the name, this virus from spreading. Period. None. And that's
because the virus is so small that compared to bacteria is like huge compared to a virus or even a germ. Germ is huge, and that's why doctors wear a mask, because it prevents bacteria or germs going into the patient's wound when they're operating on. Yeah, so it's not to prevent viruses, because viruses are so tiny that go ahead, Sean. You wanted to say something.
You can tell. I'm just looking at comments in the chat, and I'm like, oh, okay. So the fart thing, people talk about you can smell a fart through the mask. They're saying it's spit. So like if I'm spitting in the mask, it's not getting through. And if you're wearing a mask too, that's not getting through. So if that is true, that would work. Okay. I work with bloodborne stuff, and I work with all kinds of things like that, infectious diseases. That is true. Okay. So if I'm spitting, because I will take my mask off and be covered in spit if I'm talking to somebody, but the outside is dry. Okay. So if it's airborne, like a fart, then you would still do the mask. If it's more like you're pissing in your pants, and I know that's horrible, but it's true. If you've seen the meme going around, if I'm naked sitting there peeing and you're standing next to me, you're getting it on your toes. But if I put my pants on, or if you put your pants on, if you're naked too, you're getting it all over your legs and toes. If you put pants on, you're getting a little less of it on your legs and toes. But if I put my pants on, my pee's all in my own pants. So if it is liquid, if it is in our liquid, which here's the problem, man. Nobody's really clarifying.
Thank you for that analogy.
It's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I figured you would like that, Art. But if it is through our spit and liquid, why don't they just come out and really clarify that? Because they
can't. It's not the narrative. It's not the narrative. They have to have some reason to cause a problem.
Because a cold would be like that through our spit, like we sneeze or something like that.
And a mask, and it's like I do. You keep using the same mask over and over. Technically, you're supposed to change them every 4 hours if you're wearing the disposable mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like the kind you're wearing, and I've got the neoprene one that I wear when I have to go to a store. You're supposed to wash them. You know,
and like, dude, we were supposed to. Most of us were taught vampire cough. You cough, you sneeze. you don't do it in your hands, because here you don't go rubbing. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
You know? It's common sense. The problem is most of the world has no common sense. That's the problem. So they're forcing this kind of crap on us because the majority of us have no common sense or clean habits.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the 6 feet apart, that goes in the political side, Steve Mack, because that's a confirmed distance that 5G can do for tracking.
I can sneeze further than 6 feet. I promise you that, though.
That's right.
I've made
the 6 feet is a confirmed distance that a phone in your pocket that GPS can track you, and it's all been put on all our phones now.
Oh, you're talking about if we're too close to 6 feet, it gets confused with who's tracking what? A
5G network can track the phone to tell the distance between phone to phone at 6 feet away.
What if you don't have a 5G phone? My phone won't do 5G.
Well, most phones are going over that, but it'll still be able to track you. It won't be as accurate. It's like the old days of GPS. You know, GPS, I mean, you used to go digging for gold, and we were trying to find locations. It used to be like 300 feet, if plus or minus, you know, in the old days with original GPS.
Right.
The GPS system on my boat is accurate was accurate within 10 feet, you know, of where you're going through, having a base station point. Now with just GPS, not GPS only on your phone and 5G, it can track accuracy within 6 feet of GPS because it's pulling off all the cell sites.
Well, look at the GPS on our drones. To just make this go back to drones, we'll say when they take off and you do return to home. Look how close those do. I mean, that's pretty impressive what they're doing with that kind of stuff.
Oh, here, I'll show you one that'll make you laugh.
Especially if you stay out of water.
Oh, come on.
I knew that was coming
in one of your videos the other day when you were flying the Mavic Mini.
Oh man, and I was flying his, and I almost I almost hit a tree.
Yeah.
I was talking to him and just talking and flying, and he was like, "Are you trying to fly that close to that tree?" And I was like, "Nope, go up." I was like, at least if I wrecked that one, it's cheaper. And I was like, "Well, you get a better drone if I wreck it."
Here you go. Here's my Skydio.
Yeah, no, just because I have two now doesn't mean I'm giving
Here,
away.
I'll show you the accuracy. We did this for a test with Jim Boyd to find out if air data would have come up on his drone. I'll ask Art to share that.
Okay.
I'll zoom in this a little bit, okay? That drone never moved. It was sitting on my front porch, but yet it shows it going out almost from the point where my hand is. If you can see my hand, I don't know if you can see my hand, my mouse moving around, but the beginning of right up next to the house. And then where the H is, that would have been the return home point. I turned it on, so it's actually sitting up higher by about 3 feet, almost 4 feet closer to the house than it actually starts it to show.
Wow.
And that's just the drifting. It was on there for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, just to turn it on to see if it would pick it up doing it. It shows that the GPS tracking moved. The drone never moved. It was stationary.
That's weird. I just want to share something too, because Steve, you saw the new skateboard I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put lights
That's
on it.
awesome.
I put lights on it. Look at this.
Ooh.
So I
Oh
can
my
run.
gosh.
I put LEDs and tail lights.
Oh man.
It's so much fun.
That is cool.
It's-
That is an awesome board.
Yeah, it's the first one I've ever had that was belt driven, so it's a little different than like what I'm used to. But it's a blast. It's got the all-terrain wheels on it, and it's pretty cool to be able to do that. Here, I'll cut it out.
Is it
Cool.
is it quieter with the belt drive?
It's more noisy with the belts.
Is it?
The other one I have is hub drive,
Oh, okay.
and the hub drive is actually quieter. But I was just
Cool.
stoked on those LEDs, man. I don't know why, but I feel like a kid. Like, oh, look at all the lights, you know.
Copper State Aerial Photography. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, that's for sure. The strobes, because the strobes I got for my drone, that makes a big difference too.
Oh,
Even during the daytime, keeping an eye on it at daytime. I think going to spin down, I'm gonna make sure I have the strobes with me, so in case we're
There you
around, so if I'm around Candono, it won't get confused of which drone is his, and he doesn't fly it into a fence near us.
I think Ken's
Yeah.
not going to make it. I don't think Ken's going to be able to make it to spin down. I think he's going to have to put his tickets up for sale or something.
Oh
Uh-oh.
man.
Yeah, he might not even make. Oh, well, neither of us might make spin up. I don't know yet. We got to do a little more research on that.
Well,
before
you
we-
might have to end up doing it online then.
Yeah.
With Kelly.
I
Where
like
you guys stay home, and then it'll be, you'll go. Yeah, it'll be similar to what we're doing.
I do like going to that though because my dad
Yeah.
lives down the way, so it's an excuse to visit my dad as well.
Yeah, I was going to say you're close to your dad going down there.
Right.
That's for
Hello,
sure.
Grant. Welcome to the show, Mr.
Grant,
Stay
hello.
Drunk.
And hello, Copper State. Yeah, that's going to hopefully Colorado doesn't decide to do this thing with because that'll kill it if that happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would suck. But if people drive in, then nobody would know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how the
Yeah, we got quite a few people from Colorado that are going up there. The four-eyed canine, he's from Colorado. He's up by Loveland, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Hey, I think Rosie's talking about coming in. He's still deciding if he's driving or flying.
Yeah.
Right?
But if he drives, like let's say he drives from another state and they do put that up there, what are they going to put someone at every border around the whole state?
Well, New York, look at what New York City's doing. They're pulling over every 6th car coming in the state if you got out-of-state plates.
Really?
Yeah, they take down all of your information, your VIN number, your everything off your vehicle, where you're going.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
That feels like they're overstepping. I'm less government is better for me than more government. I don't understand the people that want more government to rule their
Do
lives.
you have your papers? Show us your papers.
I don't understand it. I mean,
We
I
have these.
I understand it because I'm open-minded, but I don't get it. Like I want people out of my business.
You're starting to sound like a conservative, Sean.
No, I don't like to call myself that. To me,
He's common sense. He's common
Yeah.
sense.
yeah, because conservative to me growing
Come
up,
over to the darts.
because I had purple hair and I was crazy and all this other stuff, and I was all about rights for people growing up, and I still am. However, me being for that, something changed. Something changed in that organization because it used to be us fighting for people to be equal, not fighting for people to be equal, and then my opinion being better than yours. I mean, you're still equal too if you had a different
Some
opinion.
animals are more equal than others.
Something's changed in the last 20 years. Like,
Mhm.
so it's hard for me to support that anymore because it's different. It's just different now.
Yeah, but it's even more than 20 years though.
Well, yeah, I guess technically. Well, I was 25 or so. I was in college.
Yeah.
I was all about that. And I think most kids are like that in college. They come out of school and they're like, I can fix the world. And then they go out and they're like, oh my God, I can't do anything. You know, it's so messed up.
Welcome to reality.
Yeah. Well, that's why I don't think people like AOC should be able to go straight into Congress because she hasn't gotten out and lived yet. You know, she might have some ideas that are fresh and new and weird and whatever. And we look at them and we laugh or we don't laugh. And some people like them, some people don't. But she hasn't lived yet. She hasn't actually gone out.
She was a bartender. There was one of 10,000 people that were picked out of a lottery, and it went through it just like Dancing for the Stars or America's Got Talent, and that's how she got in. She was the one of the 10,000 people drawn from the state.
I would like to be in that program. For
it was a lottery. They went through and people applied.
They
started having this drawing.
The health insurance you get for that would be great.
Oh yeah, it's paid for
life. I think even when you're done with Congress, you still get the health insurance, don't you?
Yeah, all you have to do is serve one term.
Yeah. That's complete bullshit because that's money we spend in it. That's I hate to get on politics. I talk about this forever.
Tune in to Art's Place tomorrow at 1 p.m.
There you go. That's when you should have me on your show. I could talk about that forever, Art. But
there you go. If you want to, I'd be happy to have you on.
The problem,
we can talk about it.
Management, okay, being a business owner, our country is a business.
That's right.
Management, and these people are getting paid too much, and there's jobs that are for doing crap work, and then there's a budget, and if they don't hit that every year, then they have less next year, so they spend more to get more next year, and they're fixing stuff and doing stupid stuff with our money that they shouldn't be. Like that's the problem.
Really, Sean?
But most people don't realize that, Art.
Yeah.
Most people are so...
that's why we have shows like Art's Place and, Rush Limbaugh was the one that started the whole conservative movement in the radio.
We got to change this. We can't be conservative because that's a turnoff. Because
he's got 60 million listeners.
But is it turn off to younger people or people that grew up like me that go, hey, I'm not conservative. No, I'm got purple or a blue mohawk. No way I'm conservative, you know?
Hey, you'll be surprised. There are people with the purple or green hair that think the same way that we do.
They do. But that makes us think that you're like all uptight and, I got to stick up my butt. But that's not what it is. It's not, but that's what people think.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing we could talk about on Art's Place tomorrow.
And that's what's funny is company I used to work for. It was a fire alarm company, probably one of the biggest in the world at the time. Was called Simplex Time Recorder. They got bought up. And Dad walked away from the business because his son didn't want to take over. His daughter did, but what did he know where they're at in Massachusetts? The daughter could never take over to run a major multi-billion-dollar corporation and be in that predicament over there at the time when he sold, because he knew that she would be up against a rope of being a female running into businesses of a major corporation like that. And that's the fallacy where it's got to be in because of the conservative entity that was even though, but then you go clear to the other side being out of that area too.
Yep,
it is. That's what it is now. Simplex Cornell.
I had to plug myself.
Dad walked away with $1.4 billion cash sale. And they did not sell the property or the headquarters. They retained all the businesses, the buildings, the property.
Wow.
If you guys could go back in time to when you were 19, about to turn 20, and you could say one thing, what would you say to yourself?
These are the winning lottery numbers for this day.
One piece of advice. Okay, how about
what piece of advice?
Life advice to yourself. Not like, oh, don't date. Well, I guess you could say, stay away from that girl. Because I would one girl I would never have touched.
I don't think anything, because I have to admit my parents taught me well and to do it and just to keep an open mind. Don't shut the world out. And that's the problem that I feel that is the sheep that have been taught through the teachers in school. They've
Right.
closed the mind that you have to believe this way. Don't. Keep an open mind.
Mhm.
And my pediatrician, now I'm going back to even being real young, way before, I still remember that. He always said to me, and say the last time I saw him, probably I was in my, single digits. I wasn't even, above 10 years old. Oh, no, I was probably 12 years old. I take it back. Shoot for the moon and don't stop, because anything you gain is further than you were before you started.
And my
I went by-
folks, being a disabled kid, they were the type of parents, they didn't coddle me. They just let me, be a kid, and I think that's what gave me the confidence to. I mean, I was a really shy kid, and it wasn't until high school that that my shyness started to break down, and because I used humor, and that was how I was able to socialize with other people. And so my parents, if I fell and scraped my knee, and they say, "Yeah, get your ass up and keep on going."
Yep.
And that's what I did. And they didn't coddle me. I've seen some friends of mine where their parents coddled them, and they turned out to be total basket cases. And I mean, I'm just, because I was born at a time where there weren't a whole lot of disabled kids surviving, because medicine advanced enough to where I was like right at the beginning, to where kids with certain disabilities started to live longer. Because when I was born, the doctors told my folks, don't name him, because he's not going to live through the day. And here I am, I'm 60 plus years old. And, but when I was 5, they gave me a name.
Really? What the fuck? You're fucking pulling my leg.
Yeah, first 5 years of my life, I thought my name was Jesus. Put that down. Get that out of your mouth.
Art, you know what you should do if you haven't done it already is make some videos on this channel, or make a new one on what it was like having a handicap like you do growing up. Not for sympathy or anything like that, but because a lot of us don't have any clue. We have no clue. Like what that could be an interesting video idea. Like, or multiple videos, because you do, even just like at your house, man, even having to go up and down your stairs and carry groceries and stuff is more challenging than me walking down and doing that. And it's something I treat you like a regular person, because I never want you to think anything. I see you like one of the guys. So it would be sort of interesting for me, at least, to see stuff like that, because I see you as just a normal dude, but like that kind of stuff would be interesting to see, because there is differences.
Excuse me.
I
don't know if that would be weird for you to
the
even
life of art.
Yeah, good. That's actually cool. Now, going back to my question, is there anything you would tell yourself at 19 to 20, like specifically, that you would change your life, you think?
Don't go to bars every night.
Save your money?
Save your money.
Yeah. I think of the money I would save. Yeah.
A specific thing that I always think to myself that I kick myself in the butt for that I didn't do. And I would go back to myself and say, hey, all those houses that you're going to run across that you don't want to buy because you're afraid you're going to move in a year or 2 years or 3 years, or maybe that house just isn't nice enough and you want something nicer because you have this expensive taste at 19. Stop being stupid. Buy the first freaking house that you can and live in it. And then when you're older, sell it and get the nicer one. And then when you're older, sell it and get the nicer one. So when you're in 40s, you can afford one of these houses in this damn ski town. That's what I would tell myself.
Or you keep that house and when you buy the next one and then rent it out and then have it as income.
Yep, that would be great. I mean, I tell that to everybody. I have kids come in here and get tattooed, and they'll ask me, they'll be like, hey, if you had any piece of advice, what would you give yourself? Like, what have you learned? And buy a house, buy property as early as you can.
Yeah.
Like, that's I still don't own any property or any house, but that's like the one thing that always pretty much goes up. A house might drop depending on if the area goes to shit, but that's a pretty good investment overall. I mean,
at least you got the write-offs instead of having to just pay rent out the door. Then you can't write anything off. At least you've got the write-offs of owning a home.
Yeah, and even if you get in a home at 19, 20 and you live in it for 5 years or something, and you sell it for the same amount of money that you bought it for, or even a tiny bit less, depending on the market. That's a good one. I haven't yet. And my girlfriend that's what we're fighting about. 8 years. She's like, why aren't you marrying me? Well, I'm not calling her, but whatever.
Yeah, where's your damn ring?
Yeah, pretty much. I would buy a house because you can, all that rent money you send off, at least if you break even, you are only out a tiny bit because of fees, where rent drop, all of it, it's just gone. And I'm paying. It's just, it's heartbreaking to look back and see how much.
Oh, it is. I mean, I remember back in the 80s where if you went to go buy a home when the prices went up, it was like interest rates. Oh, well, okay, here it is. Put it on my credit card. It was the interest rates for the cost for a home were interest rates that you're paying on credit cards.
Yeah. And that's something I did horribly, Steve, when I was in my 19s through my early 20s. I lived off credit cards. I was approved for $5,000 on this one, $10,000 on this one. And I was like, whoo, and then my life fell apart and I couldn't work and I couldn't make those bills and they didn't care. No. I can specifically remember a guy calling me when it went to collections saying, hey, what's going on? And I was like, hey, man, I'm just trying to defer payments so I can get on top of my game again and get everything going. Had a car, I think it was a RAV4, Toyota made the RAV4, and they deferred payments for 3 months, right? So no problem in the car. The credit card companies, nope, not a thing. So this guy, he's at the collection agency, calls me up, and I tell him the story, what happened about how my kid's mom got all messed up on alcohol, drunk, and now she's doing heroin, and she's gone, and I can't work some with the kid. Yeah. And Art, you know what he says?
I don't care.
Problem. You're the dumbass that married her or got with her or something like that, right? I was like, I got your number on speed dial. I see you're in San Diego, motherfucker. I'm sorry to cuss on your show. Hopefully that doesn't. I was mad.
Wow, you made it sound like the Ken Dono show.
Oh my God. I was so fierce. I'm coming down to your office. I've backtracked your thing. I know what office you're at. I'm driving it. I didn't care. When your life is at that point and everything's falling apart, that's the wrong thing to say to somebody.
Yeah,
it is. It is.
I mean,
that's kind of like saying, sucks being you, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be better than what he said. You know?
And it is. And when kids are young, you don't think of that. But I had at least common business sense. And I took a lot of business classes, even in high school and going into college. Because business, economics and business, if you can stick with that, that'll get you life no matter what you go into. Instead of this advanced basket weaving crap that they wanted to start teaching kids, in the day. And it is. Your life is going to be wrapped around. What is your credit score?
Yep.
What is your credit score? What are you going to do?
Talking about credit score, teach the kids to think of it like a video game high score. Once I started thinking of it like that, I was like, I'm going to get the high score. What's the highest score I can get? 850? I'm going to get it. I'm damn close now. But it was like a 400 back then. And no one taught me. Like, I moved out so young and I didn't have anyone teach me like money management and all that stuff. And I was making good money at 20 as a tattooist. I had days at 20 that I was rolling in $500 a day, and that seemed like so much money at a 20-year-old,
Yeah.
And living like an idiot. And if you had these classes that were forced, and not this one class in high school that teaches you how to write a check, which no one does anymore, but like something that really specifically
Yeah, once in a great while I do too.
I do. I write to my the guy that does my landscaping.
Oh man, I have people sometimes try to write a check for tattoos, and I'm like, nope, you cannot give me a check for a tattoo. It ain't happening.
Well, look at that, and I'm going to say it, dumbass kid, and I'm going to say dumbass because it's not really I take it back. Dumbass parents, they didn't teach his kid, and they stopped teaching cursive writing. He ended up going for a multiple $1 million contract. He didn't know how to sign his own damn name. He put X. Can't sign his own damn name for a $5 million contract?
That's insane.
Man. Welcome to ArtCo Finance Department.
Yeah. Here we go, Art.
Yeah, we could do a whole new show called ArtCo Finances and Bitcoin.
And my sister went to college with this girl, and she is, I mean, IQ level that's through the roof. Common sense, that's another story.
Oh, yeah.
In college, she's sitting there writing a check out. So what does she go? She goes up to, she could, do the math. I'm not going to have enough money. So what did she do? She put a 0 on the balance amount, added a 0 to the number, and then carried it on and kept on running. And then she wondered why her checks were bouncing.
Oh, God.
I mean, there's a lot of things not being, because the families are broken now, right? So a lot more families are broken than they used to be. And it's harder to learn that stuff at home. Like, there's no time. People don't have time to teach everything to their kids anymore, which is sucks. It's true. Mm-hmm. So like more real life stuff would be really cool to see our kids learning. Like, hell, teach them to wash their hands in elementary. Put a hand washing station in the elementary school classes, right? Instead of having to send all the kids to the bathroom, have them wash their hands in the middle class.
Well, they've got it there here in California, at least for K and first grade. The bathrooms are in those in the classrooms.
Yeah, here the ones I'm used to, they're down the hallway. Like there's K in first grade would be like their own hallway of kindergarten, and they get one bathroom for that whole hallway.
Oh no, they've got each one of those. Each one of the classrooms have their own bathrooms.
See, but it'd be cool to have a sink in the actual.
Yeah, and they've got it obviously right there, and then the sink is on the outside. The bathroom's in there. Okay. You step out in the classroom. There's a sink right there for them to wash their hands.
People doing it right. You can teach better hygiene to the kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna answer a question from Mel. He sent me this picture. He's working on a thumbnail.
Right.
And I it's hard for me to tell, Mel, but depending on what you're doing with the writing, yellow would definitely pop on it. White could look pretty cool too, but you have that big white. It looks like a wing or something. I can't tell in the picture what's going on. There's a camera. Oh, it looks like, is that the back of what is that? The back of an airplane?
Oh, that's the rudder.
Yeah, that's what I'm
playing.
It looks like he's got a FPV camera set up there.
Yeah, Oh, you didn't see the video that Mel played on my show?
I missed that.
He put a FPV camera on his plane, and he showed us the video that he got from it today. And it turned out really cool.
Okay, he told me to stop showing the picture. He didn't want me to show the picture anymore. So sorry about that. No, I didn't know it was secret. Yellow would work. White would work. Depends on the font. Something that's too busy of a font, yellow would actually get lost. So if you keep your font pretty clean, I think yellow would be pretty popping. And you could also, Mel, if you double border it, you could put like a little thin black around you could do yellow and then a thin black around that yellow to help pop it.
Oh, yeah. That would look cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but I thought that'd be easier than texting him while I was on the show.
Right.
He said, he texted me, stop showing the picture.
Well, I use Canva to do my thumbnails and stuff, and I kind of keep it simple, and I've developed my own headshots. I took some old headshots that are probably a little over a year old, and I learned how to make them look like cartoons, and they look good on the thumbnails. And I have them with the different expressions on my face, and so I got to get back to where I got to have thumbnails for the live stream shows. I did it for a while and I haven't done it. Now I need to start doing that again. And I just updated my playlist. I put all the latest live streams in the live stream playlist, and then the gadgets. I've added some more stuff in the gadgets playlist. Mm-hmm.
I'm actually about to make a video that's completely different. Well, I've already filmed it. Completely different than any video I've ever made since I started the channel. I had a company. Should I tell you, or should I just? Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Some company,
Yeah,
Something Yums sent me a box of snacks and candies from different countries.
Oh,
And so I went camping with the family the other day, and we brought those with us and set up a table, and we're out in the middle of camping, and we made a video trying all these different snacks and candies, and it should be pretty funny because some of them were like, you know, one was from Thailand and the other was from Egypt. And it was interesting how many of the candies and snacks seemed almost just like the stuff we have here.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was in Egypt, there was like a fake puffy Cheeto that had like a secondary flavor to it instead of just cheese, but the texture was just a Cheetos puff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to do one of the company is wanting to do long term. So I'm going to do, they've sent me 2 boxes. I'm going to do a 3rd box and edit them, and then once a month put one of those up. And
cool.
if it goes well, I mean, I would love to keep doing it because there was some awesome food in there. I mean, you can't complain. And it's pretty cool because like they've given me a link to like post to share the foods, and it's and you guys, if you have an opportunity to try this or even buy the small box, I'm going to definitely recommend you doing it because we had an absolute blast trying these different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've ever had snacks from other countries? I was trying to get with Spike. You guys know Spike?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to do something with him just like this, where I was going to send him candies and have him send me stuff and us make a video. But there's a company. There turns out there's a damn company already doing it. So it's so much easier than having to go out and buy it and find someone and send it back and forth. I personally think it would be interesting to see someone send a U.S. box, that company send a U.S. box to here, because like, what would they choose? Like, what would they send us generic U.S. candies, or would it be like Runts and Cheetos and things like that?
Okay.
It'd be interesting.
Snacks. I'm hungry right now. So
I used to back in my old neighborhood, I had friends of my folks. He was married to a Russian woman, and I got a chance to eat some Russian food, and she gave me some Russian candy, and their chocolates are pretty darn good.
It's interesting you say the chocolate. The chocolates in Thailand tasted different. Like even though they were supposed to be milk chocolates, there was a different flavor to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
One of the things,
weird sticky rice bar that was so gross.
one of the things, did you notice is the lack of the less amount of sugar coming from those?
Yes, I definitely noticed that. And even in the Egypt one, on the candy things, there was one, and I can't remember what it was, but it was actually pretty good. I was the only one that liked it. Everybody else spit it out. And I was like, I wasted them. I would have ate all those. Because I would do a tiny sampling, one little bag of chips of it. There's quite a bit in the box. Man, it was, you guys, it's a lot of fun. It's definitely something you could do, like Steve, sit down with your family or whatever and be like, hey, guys, check it out.
For me,
Hey, I want to say
it ain't
hello
going to
to
happen.
Bill
Go ahead.
Metro Drones. Welcome.
For me, I mean, it would be great, but for me, it's all that stuff is high in carbs, no matter what.
Yeah. It's not like you got to eat the whole bag. It's just you could eat one little Cheeto puff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you gotta eat the whole bag.
It's
I can't just eat one.
It's like the Lay's potato chip, but you can't eat just one. You're right, I can't.
That's funny.
Because my sister living in Germany, she used to bring back chocolates when she'd come back here to the States every year for vacation. And the stuff comes from Germany, but the stuff from Austria, the chocolates coming out of Austria, oh, it's like you died and went to heaven. Angels were singing, Art, like it is for Mitch when he brings you in. The chocolate there is phenomenal.
Yep. Oh, what happened? Oh,
I don't know.
There. I thought I got knocked off. All of a sudden, no volume. I'm like, what the? Okay, everybody's.
Sorry, I was.
Delon lived in Korea and Europe. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I never got a chance to try the candy in Korea, but I got introduced to kimchi, which I like kimchi.
I love kimchi.
It's kind of like the inside of an egg roll, only spicier.
A lot spicier.
Guys, I just realized what time it is. I've got to spend the next half hour cleaning up the shop, so I'm going to have to roll.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in. Yeah, I got the app. And I learned something today. Thank you, Steve and Mitch, for telling me about I don't need a SIM card to get the app on it. That's going to be my dedicated phone for the drone. And now I think I'll keep this A11 phone. That's a nicer phone than the one I'm using right now. So cool. I'm excited. So tomorrow I'll be able to fly the Mavic Air 2 and learn how to dial it in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video about getting drone shots of a car. That way, I have some friends that have collector's cars. And I want to, do some videos where I fly around like a Model A, restored Model A, and get some really cool photos and video of that.
You guys want to see a sneak peek at something I'm working on?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, before I get out of here, because I got to get going too.
Hold on a second. It's really crazy. I don't even know if I should show it. Let me just skip.
You're such a tease, Sean.
No, I mean it's crazy, dude. It's so crazy. Okay, let me see. Actually, that's really cool right there. Hold on, I'm looking at it. I'll share it in just a second. Then I'll skip it.
Okay.
Here we go. All right, this is the Skydio. Can everybody see? I'm gonna make a standalone video. I think this is something worth a standalone video. So let me skip to the right part here. Where is it? Just give me a second to find it.
Okay.
How fast will that new board get up to, Sean?
22 is the fastest I've gotten it to go so far.
Boy.
That's pretty quick.
But it's pretty cool. Like, the Skydio goes to the trees, no problem, right? You see everything, no issues going through that. This is sort of cool right here because I switched where I wanted it to be, and it does this cool little flippy flop thing, like right in front of my face. But
I like the part where you went through some cow poop.
No, that was in Austin. My face when I hit that cow poop was crazy. So here I'm coming up to this, and I'm getting this shot where it's on the left of me, and I'm like, okay, there's some trees there. This would be cool to see it go around the trees, and if it stays with me, right? Because now that, like right here, you see the first tree, and so it goes out around it, and I go ahead and make it have, because it's got this new distance thing and go 130 feet, so it goes far enough to be around these trees, no problem. And it's like got ahead of me. See, now it lost me, right? And it's going this way, is trying to figure out. It sort of got me again.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Hey, where is that kid?
And now all of a sudden there's wires.
Yeah.
Oh no, not again.
It lost me. Now it's going backwards, right? Like I didn't tell it to go backwards. Now it's like sitting there trying to figure out where I'm at. But guess what happens next. And I really feel I need to make a safety video about this, because what's happening?
It's over the road.
It is in the road all on its own. And I have no idea. I'm sitting there thinking it's right on the other side of the trees, and it's in the middle of the freaking road, dude.
Holy crap.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. It was look at that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh my God.
holy
Right?
crap.
Talk about shitting myself. When I saw that footage and figured out what happened, I just was like, oh my God. I have no idea how it backed up to that distance or got in the road. Like that's the problem with the beacon. You can't see. So if it gets around a tree, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make the right signal
Oh,
with that, like
you almost had an art moment there.
oh, that was almost that could have been me like in a lot of trouble, or even maybe
Yeah.
the whole drone
Uh-oh.
in a lot of trouble.
Uh-oh. Now, welcome back, Mel.
That's the second time that I've seen actual footage, not just heard about it. Billy Kyle had it following him on a skateboard down a trail lined with trees, and then all of a sudden it just stopped following him, turned left, went into the trees, and got kind of hung up. 10 feet the other side of those trees was a 4-lane busy city boulevard. Okay?
Damn.
That Skydio 2 is unpredictable, unsafe, and it should be grounded.
I don't know.
No, wait a second. No. This was his operator error with the beacon telling the
This
drones what to
this
do.
was my fault.
Then
I
the drone
well
should
could
the
have
drone
hit-
when it lost connection with the beacon and whatnot, it should have stopped. It shouldn't kept wandering backwards and crossing
Well, here's the
roads
thing,
and
Mel. I
whatever.
need to have them check out my stats on it, because it's very possible that I hit the plus signal instead of the minus signal. And if I had done that, that means it would go further away, which would explain why it got into the road instead of hitting the minus, which should have brought it closer to me. And if
Either
I honestly
way.
don't know which way I did it. And if I did that, that's 100% my fault.
But
and
by
it-
then it had already lost you, right?
No, it had lost me and then re-picked me up, if you saw in the video.
But then it lost you again, and then it crossed the road.
I think no, it started moving with me. I started going again on the skateboard, and you can see me in between the trees if you look carefully. You blow it up.
Yeah,
Moving.
but after that, it's kind of wandering a little, and then it starts
It
backing
was
away.
wandering, but I stopped. So I went and I was going and riding. I guess I could.
I don't
so
know. Look
riding,
at the video.
and I
But
stopped to try to figure out where it was. And then I started again, and then I brought my phone out and was like, okay, I got to connect it to my phone and figure out where the hell it is. And I see yellow lines, and I'm like, wait, what? Oh, hit the minus button. I hit the wrong, but I think I hit the wrong button or something. So I'm trying to get back. And yeah, the 8th floor, I always have the 8-foot floor disabled, always, because you get better shots.
Up.
yeah, that I don't know, man. That I've just heard too many things and seen too many videos where that drone does things that you don't expect.
Well, you get to, okay, so you learn the drone, okay, because it isn't like another drone, and I've used it a lot more than Billy Kyle has. I guarantee you that, because it just fits with my lifestyle a lot more. And honestly, you learn how it flies, and you start learning how you push it and how it reacts to these things, and then you understand it, and then you actually know, hey, in this situation, don't push that, don't do that. You can actually control it in ways that a lot of people don't realize you can. You can actually point it at the drone and move it yourself too.
Yeah.
And that is more predictable than when you're just hitting the buttons.
Except when, hey JD, yes. Except when it can't see you.
Now, same thing goes with any drone tracking though. Like I've had issues with my DJI drones tracking.
Sure, but Sure, but what do they do when they lose signal because they're stuck behind trees or they get?
Oh, they lose
what I mean?
signal, they hover, and I agree.
They hover. They hover. That's my point.
You want to pull up the video? Let's take a look at it. Let's see what actually happens, and I'll go through. Let me find it again.
For just what you played, it looked like that it was still. It was following you a little bit through the trees, but then it looked like it lost you again when it started backing away even more.
All right, let me share it again if Art's cool with that.
Now we saw when you made it back away so it would clear those trees the first time.
Mhm.
All right.
That made sense.
Let's see here.
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you what I was doing because I remember. Let me fast forward. All right, so I'm coming up the tree. So that's a little too far. So here I'm backed it up a little bit, and that's
Yep.
on me. So that's purposely backed up. I was like, okay, that's a good distance.
Yep.
There it got a little ahead of me, and then that's where it lost me, right? And yes.
Yep. And then it found you again.
Yep, and it did back up a little bit. Okay.
Now see right there, it's already in the road. Did you see the white post?
Not on the road yet, but that
Yeah.
Yeah.
possibly right there backing up, and I think that's my fault. I think I'm probably hitting the plus instead of the minus. I'm thinking, okay, I'll bring it to me, and I probably hit the wrong damn button. Now I'm stopped right now.
So you're hitting the button again
See, I
here.
moved just a little bit. Yeah, I'm probably hitting the button trying to make it come closer to me, and it's not. So there I'm moving, so it's moving with me again because it is tracking me.
And you can't at this moment. You don't know that it's on over the road.
I have no clue. I think it's close
You
to
can't see the drone at all. You've
So I'm
lost
still moving, and it's not lost me. It's actually tracking me right now. See, I'm moving through the trees. See the trees? I'm moving. And now I finally realized, oh, shit, I'm on my phone, and now I'm manually getting it back to me as quickly as possible. So I'm using see?
Well,
I bet you those folks that drove by are probably going, "What the?"
Well, my friend's a cop up here, and my friend who's a cop got a call. They definitely got a call about a drone on the road.
Yeah.
He started laughing his ass off when he found out it was me. I was like, hey, I got to tell you what happened, dude. It was crazy. I'm doing my drone thing. I'm making this video. All of a sudden, I can't find my drone. I'm over by the sledding hill. And he was like, that was you. They called it in. You were on the road. And I was like, am I in trouble? He's like, no.
Oh man.
Nothing got hurt.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
But if I rewind it to some of these other shots, I mean, so I'm setting it up. There's a shot here that's insane. And this is what's cool, dude. You cannot go that far away with the Mavic drone. I tried. I just posted a video, and it won't let you go over like 30 to 35 feet away from you.
Yeah.
I'm purposely making it go away from the road. I'm keeping it on that side. So, and I'm going to bring it out here. This is pretty cool. So I bring it out, and after you see, there's a ledge. So this scared the shit out of me.
Oh,
right?
now you're over water. Great.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. So here I'm wanting to get it lower.
Art and Billy.
You know the Skydio likes to just land in water, right? You know
well,
that.
it has a problem with stationary water. If it's moving water, it's not the same. So I'm trying to get it under that ledge for a cool shot like that. And I
Okay.
pushed it down a little low. That freaked me out for half a second. But that is such a cool shot to be able to get all those things moving at once, you know? Like that, that would be very hard to do with
Oh man.
Very hard to do.
But like, especially at that distance, the fact that it's still tracking at that distance and they updated it and it actually,
see, now it's going.
Well, I'm using.
Oh man.
So a lot of these motions with the Skydio is because the drastic differences is because I'm pushing buttons. And usually when I edit the video, all those weird movements, like that movement,
You would cut that out. Yeah.
I would cut it out. I wouldn't use that.
Right.
But like, I have another video of it following me around the lake too. Like, let me. It's a gorgeous shot. Let me show you this other one here. Give me a second to.
I think the Skydio is great technology, but I do think it has some loose screws in it still.
I'll agree with that. Like, it's not perfect.
No, but I think a lot of it is the operator.
And you're right, Steve. I won't be surprised if I sent them my flight log and it was my fault that I put the plus button. I don't think I did.
Can you pull? You can't pull the log down.
I'm not sure how. I'm sure there's some way, but this is pretty cool. This is a little path, you know, like in here, like I'm flying right there. That's a road above me.
Right.
So no way in hell am I letting it fly behind me or to the other side of me.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Away
good.
from the road. I mean, you can use these things, but you gotta try to be smart. Accidents happen, like that other clip where
Sure.
on the road. I'm just so glad a car didn't hit it because I would have, one, been out a lot of money, and two, just felt horrible for those people, you know?
Oh yeah,
And 3
especially
being
if
a lawsuit.
busted the windshield and they had a wreck, and
Yeah. Oh God.
the chain of events on that could have been disastrous.
Oh, it could have been.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. And I feel like I need to come up with some safety video explaining when you're using this, you've got to be caught, even if, because that road's pretty far away from where I was. But with this new update, it, do you guys see these little white things flying across the screen every now and then?
Uh-huh.
That's ash from a fire that's like 3 hours away from here.
Oh, yeah. That's.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So this is
that's
pretty cool.
over by Grand Junction.
Yep, exactly.
And there's the one at Glenwood Springs. It's got I-70 closed.
So
wow,
because you get this shot here, right? So I had it in front of me, and then I switched it to the back left of me, and you notice the drone, instead of quickly moving to the back, it casually just let me catch up to it.
Right.
Which was
okay.
This shot. I mean, look how gorgeous that is.
Oh yeah.
This is a beautiful, beautiful part of the country, you know?
Oh.
Well, even the ones you post, those shots you posted on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Gorgeous.
That's exactly where I took it. So you see it misses the sign. I noticed there's people, so I put it back on the left of me, and it worked. It avoided them. Bicyclists, keep it to the back of me. Now I'm passing her, so I'm probably going to change where it's at. Yep. And there it goes right back in front of me because there's nobody around. So that change of it going in front of me would be a shot that I cut out, and then I would just use like this clip.
Right.
Backing up. Which, see that sign right there? My DJI
just got over that one.
But it doesn't miss overhead power line wires.
It doesn't miss wires. If that wire is thin,
then,
like sometimes I get worried about these little dead trees with the little dead limbs that it's those, but so far I've been pretty lucky. And I was going to do this, and I am still doing a comparison. I have 2 Skydios now, and they were not given to me. Everyone flipped out. A few people flipped out. And why do you got 2? I haven't even got my one yet. And I was like, well, I bought both of them. Nobody sent me a free one. Everything's paid for. I got one from Steve. Everyone knows Steve let me buy his order. And then my order, I never canceled it. So it finally came through. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy it because I know Henrik over there overseas can't get one. And he's been wanting one.
Yeah.
So I'll use it. Now I'm actually debating maybe I should just keep them both in case I crash one. You know?
Oh, come on. Pay it forward, Sean.
Yeah, that's what I'm probably going to do is after I film the videos is let Henrik buy it for the same price I bought it. Because I could have thrown it up on eBay, but Steve did me a favor, and it just, like you said, this is one of those pay it forward moments. So when I'm done using it for what I want to use it for, which is a side-by-side, because who does that? Like, how often do we get 2 of the same ones to see if the quality is actually the same? One before the Rona, one after the Rona. Like, is there a difference in quality control? Does the gimbal work the same?
Rona.
Like, is the color profile slightly different?
Okay. Not to change the subject, but
you are.
I am.
Then don't.
I wanted to show Sean what happened with what he told me in text.
Oh, I thought we weren't supposed to show the picture.
Yeah, well, cat's already out of the bag. So.
Do as they say, not as I do, right?
That'd be a cool shot on the tail. Oh, that's what you were doing. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, I like the way it fades out like that.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way it fades out because
like
yellow is actually almost too much visually on your eye, and it gets a little jumbled, but it fades out before it's in your face too much.
That didn't really give you, when I play it without, having it blowed up so big, it looks real nice. It doesn't do that pixelation stuff that it was doing right there.
No, I understand.
But
well, gentlemen, I've got to get going here. So Art, thank you for having me in.
Well,
Sean, good to see you.
Yeah,
Mel,
I probably should hit the road too, guys.
Steve,
looks good and well done with your popsicle FPV.
Yeah, that's good. That's the name of the video. I'll be rendering it here in just a couple minutes because it's just about done. That's what I've been working on.
Yeah.
All right.
Been listening, looking in chat, and
Yeah.
working on that. So,
And everybody in chat, have a wonderful rest of your evening,
good
morning,
night, Steve.
and take care.
Later,
Thanks
guys.
for coming,
Good night.
Steve.
So,
Good
thanks for having
having.
me.
Thank you.
All right, Sean.
Are you out too, Sean?
Yeah, I have to clean up. I'm supposed to be closed at 8, and that's in 15 minutes. I got to mop and do all kinds of cleaning. So,
There you go.
Art,
All right.
I'll bow out
Mel?
too, and then you can pull the plug if you want to.
right, guys.
All right. Yeah,
See
I'm
you,
about
Sean.
ready to do that anyway. So thanks, guys. Mel,
Thanks for the
thanks for
invite.
popping in and looking
Several
forward
times.
to seeing your video.
In and out, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
All righty, folks. Hey, thank you for coming to the show. And if you want to throw me a few bucks, that's great. Steve Matt's been posting my tip jar link. Thanks again for coming. I learned something today about the cell phone, so that's cool. So let's get the timer going, and I will see you next week. Or if you want, come to Art's Place tomorrow afternoon, and Lloyd and I will be talking political stuff. So take care, everybody. Where is that? Where? I gotta find that. Where did I put that darn thing? Oh, there it is. Enjoy.